Hey, I'm streaming today. It's been a while. Well, I did kind of stream earlier in the week, but I kind of unlisted those because I only wanted to listen to those at work. I didn't really want anyone to watch or react to that. That's just for my personal um, amusement and assessment of certain types of public speaking I want to try out. But anyway, I'm cooking right now, so I'm gonna plan on playing Elden Ring today because I want to beat the game. And there's some bosses I really want to encounter. I want to fight Melania especially. I have an interest to get to her today, so I'm gonna try to make that a goal today. I figured out where to go in the snowy mountain peaks or whatever they're called. I forgot what that area is called, but the snow area. Um, so I know where to go now. So I'll be able to figure out how to get to her eventually today. Um, and fight whoever the main boss is of the area I'm in. I thought it was Neil, but I guess it's not. Um, I need to fight something else. It seems. Um, but yeah, I'm cooking, so I'm gonna kill some time while I cook, and I'm gonna eat too while I watch some shit. Check out this new Super Mario Brothers trailer. Looks killer. This is Mario. He's got some frilly collar. What's that about? Oh, oh, it's Super Mario is a live dark fantasy. Okay, an '80s dark fantasy. I get it. That's why he has it. Looks all right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, his mustache isn't as fancy, but he's got a fancy mustache. He's like he combs his mustache. This is Luigi. Yeah, he's more proper than Mario, I guess. This is Bowser. Damn, he looks fucked. He looks like the no, not the Gremlins. The like the critters. Whenever they smile, he looks like a combination, a cross between the Gremlins and the critters. This is like a Gremlin if it had the mouth of a critter. You know, those little balls, those little monsters who were like kind of like the Gremlins, but they curled into balls and rolled around like hedgehogs, and they shot needles at people. Man, that was so like people used to think like porcupines and hedgehogs were able to do that too, just because of that one fucking movie or a series of movies. Actually, I think there was more than one Critters. Yeah, I watched a lot of that crap growing up. I watched a lot of the Jim Henson type monsters growing up and knockoff Jim Henson. There was legitimate Jim Henson, like Gremlins was made by Jim Henson's studio, I believe. The puppets, anyway. But yeah, this looks just like one of those. Totally 80s. So volume up? No, the volume's low. Turn the volume up. Oh, it's the Mushroom Kingdom Castle. That looks cool. Who the fuck is this? Wait a minute. Oh, he's asking for directions. You asking this little Goomba? I guess they would know the area more than he would. He is kind of new to the Mushroom Kingdom. He's from Normie, Brooklyn, or New Dunk City, going by the game lore. Oh, I gotta flip a burger. I'll be back. I'm cooking burgers. What the fuck? This is a one up. Oh, it's a blue toad. Toad looks terrible. Jesus, that's terrible. It's like a fucking nightmare fuel, dude. That's ghastly, dude. I don't like it at all. I don't like that. That's a thing that should not be. Oh man, that's the thing that Egg Shen would throw those fucking caster bombs at when they were in that sewer area. Man, that was some fucking shit. Man, I love Big Trouble in Little China. What a great movie. This does not remind me of that, but God, this is just as ghastly as something. I mean, you wouldn't want to run into this. Oh man, yeah. Now that I think about it, Big Trouble in Little China has some cool type of puppet monsters too. Jim Henson type of puppet monsters in certain parts. It was pretty good. Holds up today, I think. God, you're awful. Are you a bullet bill? What is this? Or a thwomp? Oh, that's the entrance to Bowser's castle. Yeah, I forgot. Bowser's mouth opens up and you can walk into it. So I guess this is supposed to be Bowser's face, just in stone form because it's a sculpture really. Oh, that's Toad. Red Toad. Now this Toad looks better, I'll say. This does look like a better Toad. It looks kind of creepy too, but not as bad, I'll say. This can pass, you know. It's very realistic, I'll say. The other one didn't look as realistic. It still looked like it was like could still be a cartoon, but it was also scary. I mean, not scary. I mean, this it's like if this shit walked up to me, man, I wouldn't like run away, but still, this is like something you don't want to see. Like I'd interact with it, and if it tried to attack me, I wouldn't back down from fighting it. But still, you wouldn't really want to run into this motherfucker. What the fuck what the fuck is that? I don't want to walk or interact with any of this going on. I don't know. As long as you don't attack me, we can be cool, I guess. What's an angry Goomba? It's like Rock Lee. Why does he have that ball cut? What the fuck? He's like Rock Lee from Naruto. Why? Why does he have that? I don't get it. It looks like a McNugget too. Remember the old commercials that McDonald's used to have? And they had like the McNugget children. He looks like one of them, just with the bowl cut. The fucking Rock Lee bowl cut. It's stupid. But it's so cute though. He's adorable. I want one. Where can I buy one of these? Hey, what is this guy? Who are you, dude? Are you Wario or Waluigi? Looks like Waluigi. Oh, it's Mario. Okay. Mario hears some shit behind him. What the fuck is this? Is this a Shy Guy? What is it? What's this supposed to be? I don't even know. Or is that supposed to be, maybe that's supposed to be, what's her name? Birdo. It's like some weird version of Birdo or something. And that's like the mouth, and it's glowing, and they're shooting something out of it. Well, that might just be a head and a hood, though. That's what I thought it was a Shy Guy, probably. I don't fucking know. Ooh, Princess Peach looks great. She almost looks like Rosalina, too, because of the blue. But she looks great. She looks like the real actress who plays her in the voice of her in the new movie. That's how the actress looks. Yeah, she's actually pretty. I like that. I like how that actress looks. I've not really watched a lot of shit she was in, but she is pretty. I'll say that much. Oh, she was that woman in that chess series about some Russian chess player. And I didn't want to watch it because I'm pretty sure that, when America makes something about Russia or the Soviet Union, it's always some propaganda, some anti-Soviet propaganda, anti-communist propaganda. It makes me not want to watch it. Chernobyl was full of that shit. I didn't want to watch that garbage series. So that's why I didn't really watch it. Because it's typical. It's how America is. Nothing but propaganda. But anyway. Oh, Bowser looks sick. Is that Bowser or something else? Who the fuck are you? Yes, Bowser's Castle again. Okay, that's just another rendition of the opening. Okay. It's like Koopa Troopa. Koopa Troopa looks cool. It's a shorter version of a Ninja Turtle without the mask on. Looks pretty nice. I already know what that is. So I didn't look up the name, but let's make sure. It might be like a Hammer Bro. It's a Koopa Trooper. I'm right. I know my Mario characters. Damn it. Oh, that's a Venus flytrap. Um, yeah, Piranha Plant. The Piranha Plant looks terrible. Not gonna lie, it's not good. Man, this thing should be looking like Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. They fucked up here. Did they put that in the algorithm at all? They should have done that. This should be looking straight up like Audrey 2. Pretty sure that Piranha Plant was inspired by that movie. If anything. Let me go. I'll be right back. I gotta go check my burger. Getting a bit crispy. Getting a bit crispy. I put some cheese on there too. All right. Oh shit. Yeah, man, they really fucked up. They need to redo this Piranha Plant. Put Little Shop of Horrors over it. It'll be tight. Get something up. Yeah, pepper jack. Oh yeah. Can't have a burger without pepper jack, I say. It's a sin. Although when I was in Japan, most of my burgers had Gouda. Oh no, it was really good with Gouda. It was a nice burger joint in Korea too. I haven't been able to find it over here since. I thought it was like a Western burger joint, but I don't know. They might have shut down. But god damn, their burgers were immaculate. Fuck. That's like the tastiest burger I've ever had in my life. I haven't found any better burger ever since. Like from a restaurant anyway. I can make better burgers myself, but I'm just saying, like, prepared for me, no. Mm-mm. That's some good pepper jack, baby. Okay, let's start this up while that melts. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. This is Bowser, I guess. Yeah, that's Bowser proper. He looks way too short and yeah, he looks way too stout and stunted. I mean, he's not big like he should be, or he doesn't look like it here. That's Bowser. He doesn't even look like he's realistic either. Like the Koopa Troopa look more realistic than him, as did Toad. Like the red Toad, anyway. Terrible. Okay, that's just another opening. Yeah, whatever. Don't like it though. Joe Rogan interviews Todd Howard on Starfield. Well, let's check this out right quick. That's kind of new.
Everyone's been eagerly waiting for the release of Starfield. It's been in development for years now. Can you tell us why it's taking so long?
Yeah, bitch.
Well, the reason it's taking so long is that we've been developing a new type of technology that allows players to experience an otherworldly trip like never before.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what? You mean like drugs?
Yeah.
Well, not exactly. We've developed a new type of technology.
If he was making Fallout, that would make a lot of sense. And I guess this might be kind of inspired by Fallout. So yeah, Starfield, I think, is cribbing a lot from Fallout. So that might come into play.
Well, not exactly. We've developed a new type of technology that allows players to experience the effects of DMT from alien sources.
Hell
right.
Yeah.
We're talking
Joe
about.
Rogan knows all about DMT, dude. He's an aficionado on it.
We're talking about a level of immersion that's never been seen before. The experience is so real that players can actually feel the sensation of traveling through space, interacting with alien life forms, and tripping balls on DMT.
Yeah.
But this time, the aliens are actually there. And it just works.
I can't believe this is a video game. But seriously, what kind of precautions are you taking to make sure this experience is safe for players?
Well, we've been working with a team of medical professionals and experts in the field of psychedelics to make sure we're not putting anyone in danger. We've run countless tests and simulations, and we're confident that the experience is safe for most players.
Most players?
Well, some people might end up tripping sack and have a bad trip. There have been reports of people actually melting, but
Sounds
that's the risk you take.
Not DMT. Jesus. That shit from Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Take when you're exploring the unknown.
Right.
I love these little Joe Rogan interviews, man. These little AI interviews. But speaking of AI, there's something I wanted to watch that's about AI. Where is it? I'll go to this channel.
Now, I've seen about 700.
But not that video, because I already watched that one. It's... Damn it. I thought I clicked on it. Where the fuck is it? Is it gone? Huh. Wait a minute. No, I just saw it. Wait, I might have it on another window. Let me go to another window. I just clicked on it before I started stream. I was gonna watch it. What the fuck, dude? It's not on his channel anymore? Did he delete it? No, it's right here. Okay, yeah, I got it right here. I knew I had it. Let me just copy it.
This is a...
And then bring it over to the window I'm looking at. I don't know why. I didn't see this, though. How did I miss this? Okay, I'm blind, I guess. Maybe I'm blind. I could be blind. No, it's not here. Because I'm looking at it right now. It's not here. Okay, the video I'm about to show, I don't know, it's not really on his video playlist yet, or his upload center yet. Recently uploaded. It's not here. Is Elden Ring in excess? Oh, I'm going to watch this definitely after this one. This one video I'm going to put up right now. But this video is something that I'm going to react to. Okay? This video.
This is a...
AI streamer gets canceled. I don't know. This is from 11 days ago. Okay, if this is the video about Seinfeld, okay, it might just be that dumb video. Okay, I didn't know this was 11 days ago. It was on my front page on my other window for some reason. I thought this was new, but it might just be that Seinfeld. Oh yeah, it's the Seinfeld shit. I can see it. Fuck it. I don't care then. I already watched that. The Seinfeld thing wasn't even funny. It didn't even remind me of Seinfeld. They didn't talk like Seinfeld. It wasn't funny like Seinfeld. The characters barely looked like Seinfeld. You could tell that, there was, Costanza. That was the one most recognizable one. That's about it. But let's check this out.
Is Elden Ring inaccessible?
All right,
Yes.
what's going on, guys? For people that have been around...
I mean, I was accessed. I accessed to it. I don't think it's any more inaccessible than the first game. It's a lot more freedom. A lot faster too, a lot more fluid. I think it's more accessible than that to new players. But I've also played like a bunch of these Souls games, so I don't think I'd be a good judge of that. I guess I have to ask somebody who's never played these. Without, from the looks of it, yeah, a lot of people complain about how hard this fucking game is. People who never played a Souls. I don't know.
in the Souls community for a long time know that there is one thing that has persisted ever since the very first game, and that is the conversation around difficulty and accessibility in the Souls games. And it's a topic that we've covered numerous times
here.
here.
Just reviewers who just want to rush through a review so they can just get something out and get paid. You know, they complain about things in easy mode or just a just watch mode so they don't have to actually play the game. Because, you know, they're just there for the paycheck. And some of them just don't even want to be reviewing games. They want to use it as a stepping stone to go write for entertainment or go even write actual shows or movies. You know, right for when I was saying right for entertainment, I mean like right for like Entertainment Weekly or some shit. But some of them just went on straight up right for TV shows and films.
On the channel. But there's
The people that get into this shit, I cannot believe it. Like, yes, Elden Ring and Dark Souls are hard games, but they're not that hard.
They're not.
something different about the article that we're going to cover today, because I saw the headline of this article and I thought it was just going to be another basic one about an easy mode.
You know, Elden Ring and Dark Souls should have difficulty options, of course.
But I believe it opens up a
They
lot
do.
of interesting questions that we in the
Using
Souls
magic
community
or
do
not.
need to ask ourselves. But what really got me was a take from another game developer about this article that quite literally blew my mind, and not in a good way. So we're going to break all this down today and try to figure out if the Souls games are not accessible enough and need difficulty options. But as we get into all that today, you guys know I'm chasing down 100k subs here on the channel. So if you're new around here, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We cover all things.
You know, he watches Legacy Killer a lot. Like, he's so annoying. I don't really like Legacy Killer that much myself. But then Asmongold can be annoying himself. He's kind of too privileged for my take. He's gotten way more privileged over the course of the current couple years. He's been kind of smug. It's kind of annoying, but still funny to watch. All right. Getting my bread out. Getting my buns. Next time I'm gonna toast these puppies, man. Tastes much better with toasted buns, but we'll make do today, or I'll do it later. I'll still have some burgers left over. Mm-hmm. Get my special local mustard. That spicy shit. The good kind. I'm gonna get my beverage. A bit of that medicine. I still got some wine in here. I didn't know I had this wine. Might as well kill it. I could kill this wine. Some wine and bubbly. They're practically the same anyway. Just one's not bubbly. Okay, ready to go. Almost ready. Oh man, it'd be a nice day to go run. Well, it's gonna be sunnier tomorrow. I could always go run tomorrow, but I will be working out later anyway. But it just won't be as sunny once I'm done. It's not so sunny today, but it feels good out. So that's why it would be good to run, at least to me. Not from Missouri. This is cold weather to Texas. The weather it is right now is like 50 something. But to me, it's nice enough. Right, I'm ready to eat. My meal is complete. Ready to eat. Just need some pepper. How did I forget the pepper? I mean, the cheese is already spicy, the mustard's already spicy, but you know, you need pepper anyway. You never have too much. Never too much spice. I say. I'm a spicy boy. I need all the spice. Okay. Right. Time for Hassan time. Whoops. Dropped my pepper bottle. But anyway, time for a Hassan type of stream where I'm just going to eat while I watch some shit. Until I'm ready to play the game. I might start a new stream once I start playing the game, though. This is just like a pre-stream. Anyway, this is relevant to Elden Ring, though. I could save this for Elden Ring when I'm actually playing it. Oh, you know what? This is funny. I'm going to watch this. Let's watch this first while I eat. Well, I don't know. I think I want to save this and just watch this now, because I'll save this for when I start the game. We're about to start.
Bored Ape NFT.
Okay, Bored Ape. Yeah, this shit is funny to me. Let's watch it. That Bored Ape shit was so stupid.
Game is an absolute joke.
Bored Ape Yacht Club, one of mankind's dumbest inventions.
So far.
This is an NFT brand that gained a lot of traction after celebrities endorsed it.
The funny thing is, when I was first reacting to this in real time about Bored Apes, I was eating an In-N-Out burger. And I gotta say, this burger I'm eating right now is 10 times better than In-N-Out burger. 10 times. No, 100 times. But this is even sweeter for me.
NFTs
and by the way, the celebrity endorsements, this was a paid endorsement in a lot of cases.
Skyrocketed for a bit before they plummeted, and there was this hype train, this gold rush going on for a bit.
When I reacted to Bored Apes, Bored Ape months ago, when it was first being talked about. And Seth Green was complaining about someone stealing his NFT. They stole my JPEG of these stupid apes. He doesn't understand the internet. He doesn't understand copy pasting. He doesn't understand that just because something's on the blockchain does not mean you actually own it. It's only the fool suckers who are dumb enough to buy that, which is Seth Green, apparently.
For a bit before they plummeted, and there was this hype train, this gold rush going on for a bit that has kind of waned. But, you know, there are bros who are still hanging on. You got situations like these, which are really funny. Somebody highlighted how funny it is to watch NFT bros learn about screenshots and how they feel like when somebody right-clicks and saves their NFT images, it's like stealing. So right here.
The best part about it, is like a lot of people are joking about the screenshotting, but there are people that take it seriously.
I know. It's terrible.
I got the same one, said this Twitter user in response
here's
to
what he said. He is
Kingle's,
mad.
NFT monkey.
I have this one too. I have it.
And the response received here is, dude, I own this NFT. Do you really think you can get away with theft when you're showing what you stole from me directly to my face? My lawyers will make it an easy job of this case. Prepare to say goodbye to your luscious life and start preparing for the streets. I will ruin you.
Oh my God, who are these people, man? It's crazy.
How much I sacrifice?
Acting like downloading a JPEG from the image is the same as trespassing and theft.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that these NFT bros don't understand what they're actually buying. You're not buying the image. You're buying the receipt that links to the image. There's also very little legal precedence for this stuff, not to mention the law will never say that downloading a JPEG from the internet is illegal when what you paid money for was, in fact, the NFT, which is not the image itself, just the thing that says you own the image. And, you know, you're the one taking its word for it, so good for you, I guess. But for the rest of us, We'll just download the JPEGs how we feel like it. It's the internet, man. You've got other NFT bros saying things like, you think it's funny to take screenshots?
There's also like the element of like, is this what society wants their money to be spent on?
I don't.
Do the average population, do the average voters want to make laws and arbitrate people screenshotting monkeys on Twitter?
Oh, Asmongold. Silly Asmongold. He thinks the voters actually decide what laws we have. If only. No. If this actually was enforced, it would be because our Congress and Senate wanted it, and they didn't care what the fuck we thought. Okay. But our Senate doesn't give a fuck about this. Our Congress does not give a fuck about this. This is just some crypto copium going on. That's all this is.
Screenshotting monkeys on Twitter. I don't think anybody gives a fuck about this. It doesn't matter like what they think is like, oh, this isn't fair. This is fair. Nobody cares.
Of people's NFTs, huh? Property theft is a joke to you? This reads like a Dwight Schrute tweet. I'll have you know that the blockchain doesn't lie.
This is why crypto is what people don't understand about crypto. You can say something has all the value you want. What value does it really hold? It only has as much value as the people who are trading it think it has. Because if you don't have anybody to enforce the value of these things, what's the real value? You don't have any police to enforce any sort of obligation to this crypto or this NFT, or to stop people from using it or stealing it. You don't have any enforcement for that. So that's the flaw people don't understand about so-called non-fiat money that crypto is pretending to be, when it's a lot of crypto is actually regulated and people don't realize, like, well, not a lot, but, you know, the mainstream ones. Bitcoin is kind of regulated now, and BlackRock has assets held in Bitcoin.
Own it. Even if you save it, it's my property.
This is how celebrities can get on board endorsing it. But they got celebrity endorsements for this shit, too. But I think there's something about this that's not really meant to be like a mainstream thing.
You're mad that you don't own the art that I own, says Mad NFT Bro. Delete that
It's not meant to
screenshot.
replace the dollar or anything.
Millions of families suffer every year.
It's dumb enough on its own to engage with the NFT landscape at all, but the fact that they don't even know what
No
they're
way, that
getting
isn't a copy pasta. The thing is, like, half of them are and half of them aren't.
into just makes us all the more laughable. Some NFT bros are calling for the disabling of right-click saves, a basic computing function they want completely removed.
Oh, so Instagram does this too. Let me give you guys a little bit of a tip. Let's go ahead. I want to show you guys this real quick.
I already know the tip you're going to tell us.
Because a lot of people don't know how to save images off of Instagram. And I just want to show you guys real quick how it works.
I already know.
Okay. Let me make sure.
Skip.
And you click
Waste
her
my
to
time.
there, okay? And let me just find it real quick. Okay. And want to do that? I'm talking.
I already know.
A more dumb NFT bro tweet just for good measure. Here's somebody who spent $225,000 on an NFT and is mad that people are.
This is so dumb. People are stealing my punk that I paid $225.
Oh, I thought that was Asmund judging this guy. But this guy says this is so dumb. Well, you're dumb. You're dumb for spending that much on this JPEG.
$5K for and using as their profile. How is this legal? This is stressing me out. Not gonna lie, Lamau. Honestly, man, if you feel empowered, it's like this is because this at this point he's lost, right? Because he got so many responses.
Larvae Labs leaked COVID. Is this? He might be trolling. Going by the name. I don't know. But then again, the name doesn't necessarily mean that he's joking about this particular thing.
On says he's beaten down. If you feel empowered stealing other people's property, go for it. It's whatever. Yeah, this is straight up stages of grief. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
For
acceptance.
stealing the
Final
JPEG,
stage.
which again is not what he actually owns. The
God.
NFT is not. The JPEG
Never
stressing
owned it.
me out, not gonna lie.
Well, to be fair, actually, on this point is not entirely complete because inside of the Bored Apes EULA and ownership policy, purchasing and owning the NFT on the blockchain is equivalent to owning all of the copyright of the NFT, including copyright and usage.
Yeah, that's what it says in a stupid EULA, but it's not legally enforceable. And so it doesn't matter. It might as well be bullshit. It might as well be toilet paper.
Of the NFT and whatever you choose to use it in. So in the case of Bored Apes, I don't know about every single other NFT collection, owning the Bored Ape on the blockchain is functionally the same as owning the Bored Ape in terms of copyright.
Sure.
So if
but
you-
who's
if you-
gonna enforce this? No one.
Actually look up what they say, that is what they say.
Who cares?
Honestly, man, if you feel
You're not
empowered
gonna stop
stealing
it.
other
Yeah,
people's
sure.
property,
But,
go
like, I'm
for
just
it.
saying.
It's whatever. I don't care. I don't care
You're
at
not
all.
enforcing
So yeah, this is the kind of
Nobody's
idiocy
enforcing it.
that this landscape
That's just what it
attracts,
says.
and shit just got way.
This type of thinking is what leads to less features being in like the next upgrades to Windows or stupid Apple OSs. This type of thinking, this type of profit-minded thinking, is why they want to remove shit like right-click, a basic function. That's why we've lost a lot of good functions Windows used to have, and why Apple never applies any more varied functions. Sad.
Dumber with an NFT game that is being developed surrounding the Bored Ape Yacht Club IP,
Okay, so we
which is
have
kind of
a
the
Bored Ape Yacht Club video game. Here we go, guys. Who's excited?
main subject of this video. There's this video that was uploaded. I'm a little late with this. This was uploaded a month ago, titled Bored Ape Yacht Club's Next Chapter. And, you know, at first...
All right, look at the comment. Congrats on all your carefully researched investments, NFT bros. Your reward is a game where you chase shit.
Yeah.
Kudos to developers for being honest that the people suckered into this game are getting screwed and playing literal shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Old
I don't
Bored
wonder
Ape
if I
Yacht
should be
Clubs.
eating, though. This is really about shit. Let's go back to the other video. Now that I think about it, I don't want to be looking at shit while I'm eating. That's going to be gross. We'll come
Is
back to
Elden
that.
Ring inaccessible?
All right, button. We cover all
Yeah,
things.
this guy does really good videos. Like, you should definitely subscribe to him if you like watching like From Software,
I
like
already know
Dark
about
Souls,
Legacy
Elden
Killer.
Ring type content. This guy's tons of videos.
Oh,
about
this
it.
is Zeostorm. This isn't Legacy Killer. This is Zeostorm, I think.
Elden Ring and From Software, and during the wait for Elden Ring DLC, there's a lot going on that you're not going to want to miss. But with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this article. The piece in question that we're going to be taking a look at today is Elden Ring and Souls games should have difficulty options. The
No.
time has come for the Souls franchise to become more accessible.
No,
and this
no,
is
it
from
hasn't.
DualShockers. Now, normally when I cover these types of articles, I tend to just
fine.
roast them out the gate,
I mean,
but the
Elden
discussion...
Ring already has its own difficulty scales, man. You can just apply them yourself. You want to be a summon, bro? That's easy mode. Okay? The game already has that. Your difficulty level is player choice, basically.
discussion around accessibility specifically has grown a lot recently, so I want to take this at
Well,
its
I think the discussion around accessibility growing is around actual accessibility, like controller options for people that are paralyzed.
Yeah, that's a different
Like, we're not-
story.
Not really talking about accessibility as in making games easier. It's just people having better options for, doing
Exactly.
things whenever they're like disabled in some way.
merits and see if we
I've
can
known
be
people with literal, they have no arms, basically. They've beaten this game.
convinced. So let's
Yeah,
go ahead
better
and get into
colorblind
it.
options,
Money
yeah.
unsurely spent. When I consider buying games, in this case Elden Ring and Dark Souls, many factors go into my decision. I look at what reviewers are saying and I try to gauge the game's levels of accessibility. For those who might not know, I was born with one arm. So when it comes to purchasing games, I need to know if I can play them
That
first.
doesn't make me
Well, I'm
pause
not
at all, because I know people who have no arms and they played this game and enjoyed it.
against learning opponents' strategies and movements. I am against being unable to choose my adventure's difficulty, especially when it comes to my first
Man, I
playthrough.
grew up
So
with
right
a
off,
kid who was like, he didn't have any fingers. He was playing video games better than I was at the time. He didn't have any fingers. All he had was like a opposable thumb. That's it. He had to use nubs. Well, that's a kind of a crass way to refer to it, but yeah. He didn't have digits when he was playing video games. He only had one thumb. He didn't have both. He had to use digits. I mean, he had to use, just the bare nub that he had to play with his other hand. But he was doing good. He could play video games. So, but it's a different story. If you want to make features accessible to people who don't have those, that's good. But that doesn't mean that they need the difficulties lowered.
off the bat, one thing I do want to commend about this article is that it is actually written by somebody with a disability.
This is not. Yeah, that's actually good, because a lot of times people talk about accessibility, and it's because like they play the game for an hour and they can't kill the tree sentinel because it's their first Souls game ever, and then they go and rage write an article about it.
Times when we get these articles about
This does not make me feel that. I mean, I just know people in worse situations. He says he just likes one arm, but I don't know. There are other people who lack even fingers and both arms, and they like the game. They don't want it to be more easy, but yeah, accessibility, controls for people who don't have both arms. That's fine. You could have like things like dance pad, focus, shit like that. People played this game with dance pads. Beating it. So this can be done, stuff like that. Like have more of more of what do you call it? Optimization for things like that. You can do that for people like this. But the actual game difficulty does not really need to be changed for that.
difficulty. They're written by people who aren't disabled on behalf of others who might be, and it makes it overall very disingenuous.
It is.
But having one arm is very much something that's going to inhibit your ability to play games. My first question, though, would be, why is difficulty the automatic solution? This sounds like an issue with personal movement and functionality.
So somebody needs to tell this guy
If you've been
about.
playing games for years with one arm or no fingers or no arms, you're kind of accustomed to playing games and whatever difficulty they are, in spite of that.
About Comet Azer.
To me, the solution that I see would be a controller that you can use with one hand. Now, granted, I'm not a disabled person,
That's
but I think
fine.
the
Do that.
exact problem is something they should address. Why is the logic not to supplement that lack of movement? I'm not sure I totally see the connection with difficulty here, but that's just my initial thoughts. Let's go ahead and keep reading.
Well, I think the amount of times that you have to like move around and everything does make it more accessible. Like, yeah, sure. But you're right. The way to solve this problem is not to just make games like as a default easier for everyone. It's more to like give those people different tools to solve the problem.
Yeah.
Which I personally think that Elden Ring is probably the most. Like, there are so many things that you can do in Elden Ring that will make your character more powerful in a boss fight or in the game in general, that I actually think that Elden Ring is simultaneously, like, I wouldn't say it's the hardest, because I think Sekiro is, like, just by default the hardest.
That's hard.
But it's the second hardest From Software game ever, and it is also the easiest From Software game ever. Like, it is both, depending on how you choose to play it.
On the type of game, I normally play on medium at first. On medium difficulty, games present a nice amount of challenge for me. I do not
I
feel
would say
my
that Dark Souls 1 is easier, to be honest. It's just the controls some people just don't like because they're not as fast or fluid, but still, I would say it's easier anyway. I mean, just because it's more sluggish does not mean it's more difficult. 1 second. Anyway, I would also say that I wouldn't say that Dark Souls 3 is really that hard, to be honest. I didn't really find Dark Souls 3 hard. Other than some parts of the DLC. That's not really the majority of the game. That's also because I'm not someone who over levels. It was only difficult to me because I was kind of under leveled everywhere I go because I was just trying to prove that I could do it without over leveling, going into the hundreds basically. If I just leveled up more, that shit would have been a cakewalk.
Progress is being badly hindered, and I do not feel like I threw my $70 away. But when I play a game like Elden Ring or Dark Souls, I can't help but feel
Dark Souls 2, we can just forget about that game. That's not even a Dark Souls game to me. It's some knockoff. It's like what's the name of that fucking game? Lords of the Fallen. It's Lords of the Fallen in Dark Souls coat. Wearing a Dark Souls mask, basically.
Defeated. Not just in the sense of losing a fight, but as if the series is not made for me. There's a real sense of feeling left out. And I mean this in the most respectful way possible, but they're absolutely correct. The series wasn't made for them. Not to be insensitive here, but the game was made for people with two arms, which is likely 99.9% of their base. But let's go ahead and be
True. I mean, that is true. Like, you can't, absolutely.
Totally honest here. These games are not that hard. Elden Ring offers a numerous amount of...
The thing we're talking about is a peripheral issue. This is a terrible logic reason to have difficulty sliders. That's stupid. No, it's a peripheral issue. We can make peripherals to make playing the game more accessible to people like this. Does not mean that we need to have difficulty sliders for this game. That's a different story. It's a separate issue.
Ways to make the game easier, aside from a standard difficulty slider. As soon as you get to the first area, you can summon another player to help you on your journey, which dramatically decreases the difficulty of the game. There already are difficulty options in this game. Heck, I just saw an article yesterday of somebody who made a spirit summon that can solo all the bosses. Not to mention you can go and farm runes and get over leveled with no limit. So anytime I see this conversation come up and they don't mention those things, you automatically know they don't actually mean it. And even
it's not that they don't actually mean it. It's that they
don't know shit about the game is what it is. These are motherfuckers who didn't really play the game, apparently. They didn't discover this at all.
beat their head against the wall against it for like maybe a few hours, and then they never tried to solve the problem. They just want the game to change because they're not looking at solving problems.
Recently, there's been a spur of people doing challenge runs on Elden Ring, setting up control schemes that utilize other parts of the body like the feet, the mouth, even using their voice to control the character, and all of them beat the game. So once again, I mean this in the most respectful and sensitive way, but if you have a physical disability that limits you from grasping...
Use the impulses from pressing the fucking bananas to make the character do shit or to move. I mean, you don't need much to be able to get through the game. All right. 1 second. I'm getting something. Getting my Himalayan salt. The best around. I need to go get some more, though. I'm going to have to go to the store later, probably, if it's still open by the time I'm done. Probably. Hopefully. Okay. Yeah, I was going to watch this anyway, so that's why I'm streaming it. I wanted to react to it on stream. This will be good background noise at work. But I'll probably leave this one up. I won't unlist this one. Although I do keep pausing a lot. That can be annoying even for me when I'm listening back. Anyway, let's play this.
grasping the controller, I would look into alternative controlling methods and not expect the game to change for you. And not to mention,
I think that's very true. There's a lot of people that it's like everybody in the world is going to come at something from a slightly different perspective, and you can never design anything to where every single type of person, regardless of like what their ailment is going to have the same chance at it. It's just not realistic.
Yeah.
And that overcoming that physical limitation with a new control style would allow you to play every game better, not just Elden Ring. But let's keep reading. I am playing a game by myself, and how I choose to play does not make another person's achievements on a harder difficulty any lesser. It does not hinder the developer's vision because many...
I do think that it does, to an extent, because like with a lot of games, people take it as like a rite of passage that they were able to like complete a certain game or beat something. And I think that adding a difficulty slider to that makes it less important. It absolutely. And this is like, I'm not saying it's a good thing this is the case, but I'm saying this is the case.
Others are playing on hard mode.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, the games have never needed a difficulty slider. And the difficulty is kind of built into the game. You can just adjust it to your own whims and how you decide to progress. You want to be a caster, you're going to have an easier time. If you go this certain path, you'll probably have an easier time than another path. You know, you go this direction. That's especially noticeable in this game. You can go pretty much anywhere.
Always be those who welcome an immediate challenge. I am someone who prefers to build up to challenge. I have not played Cuphead in months because I get frustrated to the point where I do not want to play anymore. Now this right here is the standard.
Cuphead, I beat that game. I was proud of that. I like the game's difficulty, man. I'm glad it doesn't have difficulty sliders. Or does it now? It probably does now, I don't know. I've not played the DLC. I need to get on that.
Mode argument that we've heard numerous times
I have
before,
2 arms.
and every time it's brought up, we know that it does not.
I never beat Cuphead. He played it once.
Cuphead in months because I get frustrated to the point where I do not want to play anymore. Now this right here is the standard easy mode argument that we've heard numerous times.
He's never beaten it. I don't think, going by his response. Same.
2 arms.
And every time it's brought up, we know that it does not hold water. And the main reason for that is that the initial statement they put in that paragraph is immediately untrue. So people are never going to be happy. But the main thing that this argument doesn't address when it comes to the Souls games is that the main selling point of these games is satisfaction through overcoming challenge. And one of the primary factors that creates that satisfaction.
I think that is true, but I also think the games are just fundamentally very good.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even about the challenge. Like, I kind of like it because the reason why I like a game like Elden Ring so much is that Elden Ring asks you to get the number 4, and it doesn't matter if you do 2 + 2, 3 + 1, or 5 - 1, or any other variation.
Yeah.
All you have to do is get to that number 4. And the amount of dynamic problem solving that you can have to do that makes it interesting. I think that's what makes it super fun. Is because whenever you accomplish something in the game, it's either because you've created a strategy or you've realized some sort of strategy, and that makes you better at the game and better at doing it. Absolutely.
Is value through scarcity, and the only way that works is if the challenge has a standard. And since everybody is different, it's up to you to figure out how you can overcome that challenge. And that's the way it's always been with these games. That's why they're RPGs. That's why the story is so abstract, is because it's not the primary reason you play these games. Overall, I think it's really disingenuous.
This is just the way the games tell their stories. This is just a storytelling technique that these games use. It doesn't mean it's just not important. This is how Miyazaki and the team like to do their stories. It's why he got somebody like George R. R. Martin to get on this game. It's that important. The story is that important to them that they wanted to get him for like basically a world building sort of concept. That's why it's important. It's important. It's just not like you don't get a cutscene of exposition in these games. That doesn't mean it's not important.
Ingenuous and honestly extremely unfair to reduce a game's entire accessibility to simply a difficulty slider.
There's storytelling just in the environment you're in. look around you, and these games tell a story. Just the environment alone.
But in order to understand this idea further, I want to show you guys a response to this article by another game developer. In a comment to the tweet that posted this article, somebody said, accessibility options absolutely, things like colorblind options, one-handed modes, audio
fine.
cues and such.
Colorblind options are fine. Nobody's talking about not having that. Nobody's saying we don't want that.
Great. Difficulty options are unnecessary for these games for so many reasons, not least of which is that the games make their own difficulty, especially Elden Ring. And I absolutely agree with that. But then we see a response from Ian Hamilton here who says, everything you listed is a difficulty option. That's literally why they exist. Now, I didn't understand that at first, and I'll...
What?
Wait,
Colorblind
colorblind mode is a difficulty option?
No, that's an impairment accessibility thing.
I'll explain why in a minute.
Not everyone's colorblind, so it's not really going to be like a difficulty setting at all. So I don't know.
Look at the continuation of this thread. To that tweet, somebody else responded, no, those only alter how you interact with the game. Difficulty options are much more often how much damage an enemy does, how much you deal, and how much can it take. Audio cues and color correction don't change how much everything punches for.
That's true.
Which again, I tend to agree with.
Actual input into the game that's not the same thing as this cosmetic sort of accessibility, such as a colorblind sort of attenuation.
I think most people would, because when we think of difficulty sliders, that's typically what they change. Things like how much damage enemies deal, how much HP they have, and how fast they are. I would say the vast majority of the time when you change it...
I think that yes, for difficulty in video games, that is primarily what you're talking about. Like 9 times out of 10.
Difficulty of the game, that's what gets altered. But y'all gotta see this. This guy explains that he's a longtime accessibility developer, working on games like The Last of Us 2 and...
Oh, of course. The same people who make games that are just basically movies and are more concerned about telling the player where to go and what to do, as opposed to letting them do problem solving in the gameplay. Those type of devs, the same devs who were also complaining about the ones from fucking Horizon. They were complaining about how Elden Ring's UI, it doesn't handhold the player, it doesn't tell them where to go and all that shit. It's like it has a shitty UI, and it's some fucking goon basically who was saying this from the team. They were just jealous that people were praising Elden Ring more than fucking Horizon. Thank God, what's his name? Neil Druckmann is actually inspired by Elden Ring. after Sony's flagship AAA games got kind of trashed by them, and they got more awards than them, he's looking into inspiration from Elden Ring, which is a good thing. That game was his games or Sony's games in general. There's too much accessibility. I mean, it's not really accessibility. It's like the game just plays itself for you and tells you everything. It's like it does all the problem solving for you. It doesn't let you play the game. It doesn't let you interact with the game, really. It wants you to watch its pretty graphics and like it's a movie most of the time, or primarily. So it's kind of shallow type of game that needs to go away. That's what these type of accessibility. These are the people who are saying games need to be accessible. They're talking about that. They want them to be accessible like that shit, like God of War 2 and Last of Us, and shitty UI like Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, fuck out of here. I don't want any of that. That would be awful. I don't want to be told, oh, maybe we should go this way, or you know what? You should kill this thing and get this thing. Like, shut the fuck up. Stop telling me what to do. I want to do what I want to do.
On the Xbox Adaptive Controller. And if you go to his page, the pinned tweet is a definition of difficulty that quite honestly blew my mind. Difficulty equals capability.
Wait a minute, let me read this before he even says anything. I'm going to assess this first. Difficulty equal capability versus barrier? No. I don't know what he means by that. He needs to define it first. Okay. Disability equal mismatch interaction between capability and barrier. Accessibility equal avoiding unnecessary mismatch between capability and barrier. Okay, he needs to define what he thinks is a barrier before he says anything.
Capability versus barrier. Disability equals mismatched interaction between
What's
capability.
the barrier, sir? I need to know what you think is a barrier. Like, what class do you pick when you first play the game? You know, we got a bunch of options of classes you can pick. Like, you know, difficulty may vary depending on what you acclimate towards. All right, I would say a caster is going to have an easier time, though. I would say.
And barrier. Accessibility equals avoiding unnecessary mismatch between capability and barrier. Now, I want to think about this for a minute.
Okay.
According to this equation, it implies that any one player's subjective capability determines the difficulty of the game. So effectively basing
I know, there's, you know how many variables there are for, like, someone's capability? That's a terrible metric. You know how many things you're going to have to correct for? That would take forever. Okay? He just wants to shit on the game because he's probably friends with people who worked on shitty Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War 2 Ragnarok. And he wants to just dilute the Elden Ring games or the Souls formula to make them shitty like their games. And then people will stop shitting on them and trolling them on Twitter. That's what it seems like to me.
accessibility and difficulty arguments, not on the vast majority of players that are going to be playing a game, but on the outliers in capability, which personally,
Please
in the most
stop
respect...
shitting on my friends' games. They keep crying to me every night that they didn't win the Game Awards, or most of the awards, not even just the Game Awards with Jeff Keighley, but most of the fucking gaming awards out there. Elden Ring beat every fucking game practically, no matter what you're looking at. Rightfully so, because fuck Ragnarok, fuck Last of Us, fuck Horizon. Those games are shit. They're not shit. I won't say that. They're just like, I don't want to play them more than Elden Ring, that's for sure. That's why I didn't race out to go get a PS5 to go play that shit. Like, fuck. They don't got any games I want to play. And all the other games they got are coming to PC anyway. All the other so-called exclusives that Sony used to have coming to PC. Spider-Man's on PC now. And it's got mods. Why would I want to play Spider-Man without mods? What do I look like?
way I find to be ridiculous. I simply don't understand.
Yeah, there's always going to be somebody that, and here's what I think he's trying to say. So, if you are mentally capable of being able to beat a boss,
Yeah.
but the barrier is that you only have one hand, so the solution to that is you make a controller that you can use with one hand.
Exactly. That's it.
You see-
That's a peripheral issue. That's what that is.
See what I'm saying? So, like, it's basically giving people other ways to use the tools that exist in the game,
Yeah.
which I think makes perfect sense.
That's good.
Sure.
That's a good thing. But that's not like the fault of the actual game.
Yeah, get foot pedals or something like that. Yeah.
Disrespectful way I find to be ridiculous. I simply don't
You know how many
understand.
games require like two hands? Like they don't all. I mean, or you know, so many games that we could say this for is what I'm saying. You don't need two hands for every game. I would say a lot of games can just be beat without hands. To be honest, I'm just saying that you could just use this argument for anything. Like we could say that The Last of Us still isn't as accessible as it needs to be. God of War still isn't as accessible as it needs to be. Horizon Zero Dawn still isn't accessible. Like, let's stop pretending.
Understand how that can be the paradigm for accessibility in the gaming
Oh,
industry.
this character, I need to finish her quest. I still haven't like met up with her again. Apparently she shows up here. I didn't know she showed up at Altus. I need to go back and see if she's there.
When we're talking about video games, I mean, unless
This
I'm
is
missing
Millicent.
something major here, by that standard, it sounds impossible to make a game accessible. Now, where
Well,
I
I think what he means is that a person has the capability of being able to beat a boss, but because of their disability, like they are mentally and like they have the mental acuity, they have the knowledge of the fight, they have everything that they need to beat the boss. They're just missing some form of like physical augmentation to allow them to input the commands.
That's fine. We could make some auto mail, prosthetics. Yeah, we could do that. That'd be cool. That's something I am on board with. If we're going to do anything like in regard to, some, robotics, I'm okay with that. Just not the robot dogs, We don't need the robot police dogs, is what I mean. Not just robot dog in general, but robot police dogs. Yeah, we can appeal. We can, hold back on that. They're already rolling them out in different parts of the country, though. California signed off on that shit. New York has them already. They just haven't been as noticeable. They're not as, I don't know how widespread they are, but yeah, I remember seeing videos of New York having those things patrolling. I think there was pushback and they stopped using them though. I don't know if California will bother to listen to people compared to New York if they start complaining. But everybody was against that, even in California. In California, they were complaining about the robot dogs getting legalized. They didn't care. They signed them into legalization anyway. So we'll see how that plays out. It's going to be turning into a goddamn RoboCop scene over there pretty soon. And Boston, too, I think. I don't know if they're actually employing them as robot dogs, but Boston Dynamics makes those fucking dogs. I think they make the dogs. They make the humanoid ones, too, that they show in these very curated videos where they're successfully doing construction work, quote unquote, by just handing someone who's actually doing the real construction a tool. But the robot themselves is not actually doing construction work. And they're taking their sweet time even getting over to the person to hand them the tool that a regular human could have gotten much faster. So, like, it's kind of superfluous to have robots doing this. Unless you just want to... You don't want to pay people. That's the real reason to do this. Not it being actually efficient or better than the humans. You just don't want to pay people. That's it. But anyway.
And that's what the barrier is the physical input. So I think if you look at it from that angle, then yes, that's very true. Skill issue?
Scale issue.
No, why would it be wait, what?
Skill? Did he say skill or scale? What is it? What?
And that's what the barrier is the physical input.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at it from that angle, then yes, that's very true. Skill issue?
Skill, okay.
No. Why would it be wait, what?
Maybe he's talking about they have a skill issue. The guy who's complaining here, they just need to get good. That's all they need to do. Just get good. Yeah, they have.
No? What do you mean? Yeah, it's not a skill issue at all. It's fundamentally not a skill issue.
I think they're talking about the guy writing this.
I think the confusion between these arguments.
Ian guy or something. I don't know if he's the same guy as the one who said that they have one arm, though. If it's that guy, then I guess, well, yeah, that's not a skill issue. They're missing one arm. That's a peripheral issue.
Is coming from is that the traditional idea of difficulty places that difficulty on the character within the game, therefore altering factors that would affect your character, while the developer here is seeing difficulty as the barriers that affect the player, which I don't believe is possible to address within the game, because there is always going to be somebody less capable, so how far are we going to take it? And I'll give you an example of what I mean. This developer says he worked on The Last of Us 2.
I think the solution is to make tools that allow people to function on the same level that
I wish I could read these chats. It's so blurry though on my screen. It's hard to see. I'm sure they're saying some funny shit after they said Last of Us 2. Yeah, I see that says Last of Us 2. I can barely make it out. This guy's he's giving the lull. I know, man. I'd be lolling all day at that, just at that revelation.
Person who is completely able-bodied can function at. That's really what the solution is.
The accessibility options in The Last of Us 2.
It doesn't make the game. It doesn't
players
make
had
the
the
game
option
easier.
to completely skip puzzles. You would literally remove portions
Last
of the
of Us 2
game
or somebody
as an
else did it.
accessibility option. So are we going to apply
I know
that
that's
same?
the problem. They want Elden Ring to be Last of Us 2. Like, no, man. God, no. I hope not. I hope the devs never listen to that request.
Logic to the Souls games? Or are we going to give players the option to skip bosses? Because when this conversation comes up,
Why,
bosses
dude?
are the
That's
most.
so lame. You can skip bosses. Fuck that, dude. You know how many bosses you already don't have to fight? We want to skip more? Come on, dude.
Inaccessible part of the Souls games.
Well, I think for The Last of Us, I think it's not that big of a deal to let people skip puzzles for The Last of Us because people don't really play that. Like, my understanding is that this is mainly a visual novel.
Yeah, it's just a fucking movie game. That's what it is. Nobody plays Last of Us for the gameplay. It's pretty dated anyway. Even the gameplay it offers is rather dated.
That has gameplay features. People
They
love
don't
the
even have multiplayer. Like, people like Last of Us 1 gameplay at the very least, for at least because it at least had multiplayer. They don't even have that yet. Are they even ever going to put it in? Did they cancel it? They said they were going to put it in Last of Us 2. They didn't cancel it, I think. Yeah, I think last time I heard about it, they said we're not working on it anymore for some reason. Okay, they lied in their trailers. Or in their, the little updates.
story of the game. The story is the main character, not the gameplay. Whereas in Elden Ring, the gameplay is the main character, and the story is just kind of an overlay that some people understand.
Mm-hmm.
According to these journalists and developers. Now, I don't want to sit here and be an alarmist. I do think there's a conversation to be had, but I want to leave my conclusion with this thought. Does a game have to be for everybody? Part of that equation was capability versus barrier. So at what point do we stop tearing down the barriers and instead focus on building up the capability? I'll leave that up to you guys in the comments. But anyways, though, that's going to pretty much do it for the video today. I just wanted to have this discussion because the Souls games are always kind of the ones that get kicked by these journalists and developers.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a fucking bias issue, man. They hate that a Japanese game is whooping the shit out of these American games. That's the real issue. There's some white Western bias going on. I notice they don't like it. They don't like it when the Asians do better than them. It seems. I gotta say it, dude. That's what a lot of it looks like. I just gotta say it.
Like, the reality is, like, I bet you could play the Souls games a lot easier with one hand than something like Dance Dance
Phil
Revolution.
Fish seemed to have that issue, man. He's trashed all Japanese games. That shitty indie dev who made one game didn't even make it himself. He just stole all the credit. And the game wasn't even, it was like a minimalist game. It had barely any gameplay, but he got all these smug awards for it. It's like, fuck that game. Fez. That game sucked dick. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's not like it's not like some game that deserves all them awards. And he stole the fucking concept from all other games before it. Like, there were games that had that sort of, it's just some visual sort of captivation in how the character moved in the environment in that 2D sort of world. But it wasn't even the first type of game to do it. But he got awards just for that fucking cosmetic, not because of the actual gameplay elements or anything. But yeah, he shit on Japanese games. This white indie dev, because he just hates Asians. That's what it sounded like to me. He shit on why are all Japanese games shit? Like, what kind of comment is that? What games? You only made one game, dude. You're already a smug asshole. And people were saying, well, he's no different from Hideki Kamiya on Twitter, because of his Twitter. He's really mean on Twitter. So you can't shit on Phil Fish for being mean because Kamiya, and I'm like, that's a dumbass comparison because Kamiya makes real games. At the very least, say what you will about how much of an asshole he is. He's actually made some actual games. So you're going to compare Fez to fucking Devil May Cry and Bayonetta? Get the fuck out of my face. Vanquish? Man, he wished he could make Vanquish Phil Fish. Get the fuck out of here, dude. That's the dumb shit people are on, man. It's like this is how up your own ass you have to be, and how much you hate non-white people or something, or you just hate Asians. Or I think it's general, because these Phil Fish type motherfuckers didn't hang out with any black folks. Let's be real. They didn't hang out with any people who were brown or Asian. They felt like they were better than them. Felt like they could shit on anything they make. So, yeah. And I don't understand why people would also get mad at Kamiya because he wants them to speak to him in Japanese. Why is that a slight against him on Twitter? The motherfucker speaks Japanese. He's not a native English speaker. He's not good at speaking English. His first language is Japanese. Of course he's going to say speak English, because that's what he understands most. That didn't make any sense why anyone would get mad. You got to be like some privileged fucking Westerner to get mad at that request. It might sound like an asshole if all you think English and whiteness should be the center of attention all the time, but when you're speaking to somebody who's not like a native speaker of English, that's a fair request, I would say.
Or some other game that's like one of these rhythm games, some kind of crazy shit like that. That's going to be way, way harder to play if you're talking about doing it.
People got mad at him because of this dumb voice actors for Bayonetta. There was just more of that. This is more of that weird sort of bias going on. This weird animosity towards Japanese people or Asian people. Oh, I can't believe he was such a rude dude to that shitty voice actress for Bayonetta who lied her ass off. I was glad when she got called out and exposed for being full of shit. 1 second, I'm gonna get up and wash something. Or rinse something, really. Tommy is such a mean man. Such a mean man. The only thing I found kind of stupid about Kamiya, because I don't really follow him that much, but I know he used to have a feud with the motherfucker who used to make DOA games in the Ninja Gaiden. He was the head of Team Ninja. I don't think he works there anymore because of some sexual assault allegations or something. He was like a perv, really. But they used to have a feud when Kamiya, I don't know. Yeah, Kamiya would get into some heated Twitter responses to him. It was kind of he was. I was agreeing with Kamiya about his games. I think he made better games than Team Ninja dude, but he kind of made himself look. He kind of embarrassed himself, is what I'm trying to say. He embarrassed himself in his responses.
With like one hand or like with no tools. Yeah, Guitar Hero.
As being inaccessible, when time and time again they're the highest rated games that people absolutely love. But if you were to read some of these articles,
I think that if somebody is complaining about one of these games, I wish that it was like a law that if you complain about Elden Ring or Dark Souls or something like that,
law now,
you have to post the unedited raw footage of you playing the game.
Come on, just for this, like some innocuous tweets. No, not just for that. No. If you go make like some big report on your like news media, sure, yeah. If you're making some scathing rebuke of this series on your news outlet, yeah, then that we can talk. They need to do that shit. We need to see what the fuck they did in their playthrough.
I think that should be required.
Let me rewind.
Complain about one. I think that if somebody is complaining about one of these games, I wish that it was like a law.
No, that's where you fucked up. Not just someone. No, a major media outlet shitting on the games without showing their receipts. That's when they need to do that. Not just anybody, some random fuck on Twitter saying something. Or Reddit or whatever.
That if you complain about Elden Ring or Dark Souls or something like that, you have to post the unedited raw footage of you playing the game. I think that should be required.
If we're talking about law,
Comments by these developers.
if we're just talking about like respect amongst people you're responding to, yeah, they can demand that, but don't make it a law. You know, we can have laws for those outlets though. Those outlets that, you know, shit on a series.
Developers, you'd think they're nothing more than exclusive and oppressive, and I just don't think that's fair. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new around here. The 1-year anniversary of Elden Ring is just around the corner, and I think there might be something big that happens on that day. So I will see you in the next one.
Oh yeah, that is coming soon, isn't it? Holy shit, I can't even imagine that. Spilla beat the game with one hand. Yeah, but like that guy's like one of the best like Dark Souls. I remember he was one of the best Dark Souls 3 players, right? So it's not really a big surprise. But yeah, I mean, it's already been a year. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? Like what the fuck? So yeah, I mean, I think that for a lot of these games, like you can't make a game that has like super challenging like mechanics if you have to design it that, you know, somebody can only use like 2 or 3 inputs at the same time. Like, I don't think you should expect that every single game has to be played by a person with one hand. That's such a massive limitation. And then also, like, what about somebody who's blind? What about somebody who's deaf? What about somebody who is X, Y, and Z?
We're just going to make the games just a bunch of audible noises now. Like Simon or something. And you can barely just see a light through the small lenses of your irises, but you can't actually make out shapes. Like, nah, dude, fuck all that. You don't need to do that.
Same time,
we have other options we can go along with that way you don't have to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
This is like an endless problem-solving session that just you always lose at the end of. So yeah, I mean, I don't think that's the solution. I think that the solution is to build better technology to allow those people to function as if they were able-bodied. I don't think the solution to that is just make the game easier. Like, give people different types of controllers, give people different types of, you know, like I don't know, like VR or something like that.
Sensory.
I don't know. You link the video? Yeah, I'll link it again just so you guys can see. Yeah, I like this video a lot. I mean, Xylostorm, I watch a lot of his Elden Ring videos. I'm a very big fan of this kind of stuff. So I think also it has some good conversations inside of it for gaming as a whole. So I do like watching them and getting into that. What if a game's not for you, even if because of that disability? Well, no game is for everybody, right? That's just the way it goes. Yeah. Difficulty is subject to change when talking with different people. Exactly. Yeah, unrealistic to expect every game to cater or care about every audience.
I know,
yeah, it's impossible to do that.
You'll just be walking into a fucking endless sea of variables if we're talking about capability. You're always going to find something that's like a less capable attribute or something that you can point to. That's what we're getting into, like sort of emotional or mental sort of faculties. I mean, not faculties, but, you know, mental health, you know, emotional health. We're getting into that. You're going to have endless variables to account for. And that's not even just that. That's just one of the major ones. But anyway, 1 second. Let me go to my front page right quick. I'm going to start a new stream in a minute, but the state of Netflix. Oh God, what's going on with Netflix? I haven't watched anything on Netflix in a while. I don't have it. I do have a subscription, but I don't download it.
I don't know, like, is this somebody that has like legit Down syndrome about a show like this? I don't know what this.
Man, go easy as we go. Don't offend people with Down syndrome. That doesn't mean that they're all gonna have some whatever hot take this is.
Is this real? It's real? I look like this. I don't know what this is. Is this real? Like, is this somebody that has like legit Down syndrome about a show like this? I don't know what this is. Is this real?
Oh, he's saying that's what the show's about? Chromosome 21. I guess that would get into that discussion if we're talking about chromosomes. Oh, I guess I misheard him. I mean, you can make a show like that, but have that as the title is kind of, I don't know how tasteful that is. I don't know.
It's real. I look at this and I think to myself, I'm like, this is like a Doctor Strange 14 million situation thing. Where like there's 14,500,000 and like 300 and like different outcomes that could occur with a show like this, and only one of them is not absolutely fucking weird and either patronizing, embarrassing, or like bad for the person with Down syndrome.
That's kind of that title is kind of a suspect. I don't know how good. I don't know what they were thinking with that. We'll see how they execute it.
Like, am I crazy here? I can't see this being done in a tasteful way. It's a Chilean crime show? Yeah, well, look, I mean, I don't know where it is, but that's just what my opinion is. I Googled it, and it does show on Netflix, but not in my region. Good. This looks like a fake show you'd see on some movie.
NordVPN for this.
Yeah, this is like, imagine like the beginning of like Tropic Thunder 2. And this would be like the new movie that one of the characters.
Fake trailers. Those fake trailers were a trip. Is this Simple Jack? Is that what you're trying to say, Asman?
Was in Ender 2. And this would be like the new movie that one of the characters was in. And like it's supposed to be like, haha, this movie is so stupid and so tone deaf that this idiot is going to be in it, right? Like that's 100% what this movie reminds me of. So yeah. I feel like there's only like 1 out of 14 million chances that a series like this is not is not weird in some way or another.
It is, I guess. That title, man. This title is not a good sign. That's actually referring to like some mental disabilities. 21 Chrome. Oh my god.
Out. This is their entertainment.
Why would you name
look, I mean, they can do what they want to do over there. I don't give a fuck what they do over there. I don't speak their language. I don't live in their country. I never have. I might not ever will. So if that's what they want to do, that's their problem. I'm just talking about it from my perspective, okay? I'm not going to go over there and tell them what they can and can't make a show for. You know? Watch the trailer. Did we have one? Oh, God.
It's only in Chile,
I've already
though.
seen this.
I don't know.
Let's see it. Here we go. I saw another video of it a few days ago, and I had liked it, and I was like, oh, I'm going to talk about this on my stream, but I didn't. Here we go.
Tiene sello medio. Lo encontraron en el sitio del suceso.
¿Y qué hacía ahí?
No saben. No ha dicho nada hasta ahora.
Gran conmoción ha causado este nuevo caso policial en el que Tomás Ruiz Larenas, un joven de 26 años con síndrome de Down, fue encontrado junto al cadáver de Orlando Mandujano.
I don't have closed captions on. He has it on. Why does he have it on? He don't understand Portuguese. All right.
¿Qué me puede decir del hermano? Siempre me dio mala espina.
You don't even understand Portuguese.
Irresponsable con los horarios.
We're gonna skip it again.
He turned it to English. Okay. He's able to change it to English.
Desafiante, irresponsable con los horarios.
Oh, it's in Spanish? I thought it would be in Portuguese if it's in Chile. All right.
I'm gonna skip it again so you guys can read the subtitles, okay? I just had to change them to American subtitles. Also, there's a good chance that they could be wrong because I think they're auto-generated. So here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're having them. Yeah, they're speaking American.
I mean, no, not necessarily because I've watched plenty of foreign closed captions and they just translate it properly. It's not always it's not audible.
Lo encontraron en el sitio del suceso.
Down syndrome.
Not audible base anyway.
No saben.
At the side of
No ha dicho nada
the
hasta ahora.
Gran conmoción ha causado este nuevo caso policial en el que Tomás Ruiz Larenas, un joven de 26 años con síndrome de Down, fue encontrado junto al cadáver de Orlando Mandujano Solosa. ¿Qué me puede decir del hermano? Siempre me dio mala espina. ¿Por?
You think he killed him?
Irresponsable con los horarios y según sé, tiene antecedentes penales.
Te mandaste una cagada con ella una vez y ahora querés meter a tu casa al sospechoso de un homicidio.
Bring the suspect in your house.
Detective,
Wait, bro, I did not just see that. Bro, I did not just fucking see that.
I missed it.
Them busting him down a fucking SWAT team to try to catch somebody with Down syndrome. No shot.
Well, he killed somebody, guy. He's dangerous. Don't you know? I mean, they don't know how big he is, I guess. I mean, he could have Down syndrome, but be really big or something. I don't know. You know, cops don't need logic, man. Cops will just do all types of fucked up shit and justify it. So you can't be using logic with popos, man. There he is. He's just running. Shit.
Oh my god.
Play it. We don't know what's going to happen. Let's see it.
Joey's funny, bro. They do shit differently over there, man. What could I say? I feel like half of what made that even more ridiculous is the music.
El Tommy es lindo, es buena onda y muy alegre.
Una vez me pegó. Nos obligaba a hacer cosas que no queríamos.
Oh, there's more than one of them?
What do you mean?
Soma 21, nadie es inocente. Gran estreno, viernes 14 de octubre. 22...
Wait, what?
October.
The show is called fucking Chromosome 21. No one is innocent.
Okay.
Oh my god.
What is this show's agenda?
Oh.
I wonder what the agenda of this show is.
Oh. What is this?
We're gonna exploit the fuck out of anybody we feel like, I guess. No one's innocent.
This is gonna be a wild ride? Yes. English dub win. What is this? Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Was watching a series yesterday and it's actually kind of decent. Also, subtitles for that trailer are off.
Okay, yeah. There's gonna be some things that are off, of course.
I don't know, man.
Maybe no one in it is innocent is a mistranslation for all we know.
It's just sometimes it's really crazy to see something like this because, like, you know, like in the US, like this shit would never fly. Bro, people would be so fearful.
I don't know. They let cuties fly. That was kind of awkward. And it wasn't that long ago that Life Goes On was a TV show and Corky was like the main character almost. He had Down syndrome. But the show wasn't called I Have Down Syndrome, the show. It was called Life Goes On.
Curious. But like over there, what they're doing, it's a whole other world. Oh
you
my
don't know anything about Chile. You just saw this one show. You think that's like this Chile just signs off on anything like that. No.
God, man. Like,
this is just like a thing that can slip through the cracks sometimes. And like I said, with cuties over here in the States, is you gonna say this is much worse than that shit? Like just having children dancing like the strippers? Come on, dude.
Like, where is it again? Let's go back to this one again. I mean, really? Are you kidding me?
All right. We didn't really see much. He's just running away. Not really that egregious, I would say, that those clips we saw. This is the most egregious thing is the name. The name of the show is kind of egregious. But whatever. We'll see how it plays out. We'll come back to it. Let's go to my homepage. I might just start another stream because I feel like playing the game now. U.S. official loves Ukraine neo-Nazis all the time. Yeah, I know. They do now. After exposing them for over the better part of a decade and pointing out how they're Nazis, they love them now. They just fucking love them. Like, there's nothing but endless reports from the West. It's not Putin's news. He's not propaganda from Putin. Not something he made up. Western media pointing out the Nazis over in Ukraine and pointing out that this motherfucker's a Nazi. Stepan Bandera is who that motherfucker is. And the news has been pointing it out over here, even, for the better part of a decade. Ever since the Nazi insurgents and rise over in Ukraine. But, whatever. News hopes you're stupid and have a short attention span. And sadly, that's the case with a lot of people in this country. And a lot of Western countries, really. It ain't the brown and black countries who want to go and destroy Russia or topple Russia because of this. When they know that the U.S. is the one who started this war over in Ukraine. They were escalating in the East. The U.S. has been funding Nazis over in Ukraine. They've been escalating shelling over in the east of Ukraine, the Donbass region, which got independence from Ukraine because they didn't want to be killed by Nazis. That's the only reason they have their independence. They created those independent states of Luhansk and Donetsk republics. Because they're Nazis that the U.S. has been funding over there, and the coup in 2014 that the U.S. was behind, and the Odessa burning that they did. They've been like going after ethnic Russians, anyone who speaks Russian. That's Nazi shit. The Nazis are still mad that Russia beat them in World War II, and that's just that's certainly manifested in those actions. And then they've been escalating ever since. And Angela Merkel pointed out that they've the whole peace, the Minsk Accords that they agreed to, that was only a ploy so that Ukraine could militarize to the point of being able to actually go and start shit with Russia in 2022. Angela Merkel admitted this because they were part of the Minsk Accord agreements with Germany. I mean, Germany. Well, she was over Germany. Merkel's from Germany. Germany, France, and Belarus and Russia were involved in the Minsk Accords to have a truce, a treaty between the Donbass region, where the Donetsk and Luhansk republics are, and Ukraine. And the whole point of the treaty was also to reintegrate those regions back into Ukraine and also stop the fascism going on over there, to get rid of the Nazis, to stop this whole attempt to purge Russian-speaking and ethnic Russians. That shit. But alas, that was all a ploy, because they were just building up to try to fuck with Russia. That's what that's about. That's why Russia's involved at all, because they've been escalating toward Russia, threatening to get missiles to fire at Russia while shelling the Donbass for the better part of 8 years. Have killed thousands. This is even admitted by the UN. This is not Putin saying this. This is the UN admitting this. And they've stopped counting ever since the UN even acknowledged that number. It's way higher than that now. But yeah, these are the inconvenient troops. This is a Jimmy Dore clip. I don't go to him for my info. I do react to things that he's talking about, though. Let's just look over some brief things.
I'm Aaron Mate, sitting in for Jimmy Dore, here with Misha Pollan. And joining us now is Lev Golinkin. He is an author and journalist whose writings on the Ukraine crisis in Russia have appeared in many publications, including the New York Times and The Nation. He came to the U.S. as a child refugee from the eastern Ukrainian city of Kharkiv in 1990. He's the author of a memoir, A Backpack, a Bear, and 8 Crates of Vodka.
The Odessa building fire that I mentioned, they burned a bunch of Russians alive in the Odessa building back in 2014. These Nazis, because that's exactly what they were, went there and locked people in and just started lighting the place on fire and exacerbating it with Molotov cocktails. And they locked the doors so they couldn't escape. They told them to jump. There were children even in there. There were pregnant people even inside there. But these Nazis didn't care. They don't see Russians or other undesirables as people. So they can justify this type of behavior.
Again, thanks for coming back on the Jimmy Dore Show.
This is how Nazis think.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you. So this guy is named Paul Massaro, and he is a senior policy advisor to something called the Commission on Security.
Oh, I forgot. I didn't finish up my point about the other countries, the global South, the black and brown countries. They're not on board with this whole trying to topple Russia agenda that the U.S. has, because they do business and trade with Russia. Okay, they have good relations with Russia. They don't have good relations with the U.S. The U.S. exploits the fuck out of them, treats them like subhumans, slaves, basically, if not cannon fodder. They have no reason to oppose Russia for the U.S. All right, Russia does not saddle them with debt. Russia's not invading them. Russia's not sanctioning them. Yeah, why would they hate Russia? Doesn't make sense. Russia, it's the U.S. who they're backing Nazis. They're literally backing Nazis, legitimizing them in their military over there, in the Ukrainian military. There's so many. Like, let me show this thing on Twitter. You know what? Should I show it? Let me just refresh right quick. What is this? Did you respond to me? I want to see your response. Oh, they just liked it. Okay. I was hoping somebody was going to respond to my medical reply, because these motherfuckers don't know how to read their medical references, and I gotta go do the homework for them. Okay, she is paid. Okay, yeah, this is my response about AOC. This person was wondering why this person, she's on Twitter, she is so war hungry. Oh my God, she's talking about how she voted. Yeah, they have a vote about this spy balloon shit. We got to denounce this fake Chinese spy balloon, and it wasn't a fucking spy balloon at all. But we're gonna call it that. They do performative bullshit just to show our allegiance to the military-industrial complex. So we're going to start a war with China in 2025, according to one general, for some dumbass reason. Well, the reason is because of the country's ran by Nazis, and they want to maintain their hegemony over the globe, and that's why they want to do shit like that. But they want to use Taiwan as a proxy, not do it directly. But, yeah. On motion to suspend rules and agree, she wrote it, yeah. Condemning the Chinese Communist Party. She hates communists. This is her true color. She doesn't like communists. She pretends to be communist or socialist. She doesn't really like them. Surveillance balloon. It wasn't even a surveillance balloon. It wasn't even surveillance. But yeah, she wrote it, yeah, and that's what she's saying there. And I'm just saying, well, she is a paid Trojan cover for Western colonialism. And it's MIC, of course, military industrial complex. Of course, she is going to be. And that's what I was saying there. But I'm going to go to my homepage, see if I can find it, because people have been posting this thing all day. If it's not there, I'm just going to get off. I don't see it, though. Oh, I like that dog. Is there another derailment? Is this something that happens often? It's just being more paid attention to. USA train with another accident, quote unquote. Train with tank wagons derails on camera. Infrastructure is in need of some maintenance. Yeah, our infrastructure has been deliberately unfunded. This is a deliberate thing. So these things are happening. But I think a lot of these accidents seem to be deliberate. Not even just the result of the infrastructure. At least it's no toxic chemicals seem to be on these trains. All right. I can't find it. Not right now. Might be in my notifications or my profile tweets. Yes. I was born in 1918. What about it? I'm a senior citizen. Yeah, this is me responding to this medical. Not this one. This one's actually correct. I'm responding to this moron, this Matt dude who thought he knew anything. He didn't know shit. He tried to show something to debunk what this guy is saying. Talking about, so much stupidity in so little time. The Washington Post is the best, though religious studies professor Alan Levinovitz, telling us antibodies to the coronavirus are not better just because they are natural. Well, I had to prove that motherfucker wrong. I responded to that claim actually as well, but I'm going to show this one. Except they are. Does anti-N refers to nucleocapsids, basically? Rings a bell, Al? Yeah, I thought not. I just wanted to show this right quick because I always like to just show that I know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to this shit. Yeah, these are the headlines. This is Washington Post. How to phrase natural immunity misleads us about real risk and dangers. No, it doesn't, idiot. It doesn't. You're just wrong. The dangerous Republican obsession. They call natural immunity a partisan thing. Yes, it's something the Republicans made up. No, I'm not Republican. Natural immunity from COVID is not safer than a vaccine. I would say that, yeah, living naturally is safer than some experimental corporate product every single time. Every single time. I'm not sick. I don't have myocarditis either. So. Yeah, it seems to be working for me. Natural immunity doesn't protect you as well as the COVID vaccines. Here's why. Sponsored by Pfizer. You might as well just say that. Here's why. You're wrong. That's why. But this idiot responded, says, anti-nucleocapsid rings a bell to me, as that is the type of antibody not terribly likely to sustain over time, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So I just did some little scraping at the bottom of the barrel to find this shit. Actually, I didn't read it all. Talk down to Alan if you need to, but the medical community is on his side, not yours. Yeah, Alan Levinovitz, who's a moron. Well, actually, the medical community is, well, I say it here. Let me click this because I have two responses here. Yeah, I looked at that study. I know about it. PCR confirmed infection. That's how they confirm infections in this. They're not really looking at symptoms. Booster mentioned, yet does not notice irony in observing sustainability. Yeah, they mentioned boosters because there's not really much sustainability with these so-called, what they're calling the antibodies from what they're saying is the spike protein part of the virus, quote unquote. Vaccinated are included in observation on anti-nucleocapsid sustainability when it's been said that COVID shots wipe what we're referring to as nucleocapsid antibodies. And I play this video, which supports what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I forgot. You can't click it from here directly. But they know what to look for if they go to this site, so it's fine. But yeah, I'll just play it on another screen. I can just drag it over. I have it on the other screen. It's a thing from Red Cross. See, I've been paying attention this entire time, so I remember this shit. This is shit I posted a long time ago on old streams. But listen to this woman. Red Cross needs blood donors. This is when they weren't accepting donations from people who got the shots.
On your COVID-19 vaccine, you're going to want to listen to this. The Red Cross says anyone who has received their COVID-19 vaccine cannot donate convalescent plasma to help other COVID-19 patients in hospitals. That plasma is made up of antibodies from people who have recovered from the virus but the vaccine wipes out those antibodies, making the convalescent plasma ineffective in treating other COVID-19 patients.
You hear that?
Making the convalescent vaccine wipes out those antibodies, making it from the virus, but the vaccine wipes out those antibodies, but the vaccine wipes out those antibodies, but the vaccine wipes out those antibodies, making the convalescent plasma ineffective in, but the vaccine.
You hear that? I just wanted to play that over and over again. Yeah, it wipes out the antibodies, the nucleocapsids in particular. And I have support for that too. Let me see if I can find that on another screen. I hope I still have it up. Shut your fucking mouth, man. This isn't what I was wanting. Oh, this is Peve Peverson. I remember him. I'm typing it on another window. One moment. Oh, it's already 4. I could just do a late stream. It doesn't matter. I go out late anyway. Okay, where is it? Is this one? I think it might be this one. No, it's not this one. Jeez, man. I just had it up too. Because I was looking at it just a moment ago. Here it is. I got it.
And while it's
I remember showing this on an old stream that I had done a while ago, back in 2021. And this was quite an interesting one because
to see the first round of people getting vaccinated for COVID-19, a new problem that blood banks are facing is less convalescent plasma donations.
So the reason why after you get the vaccine, you can no longer donate that plasma. So the question is, what does that mean for the people who are sick in the hospital?
This rule now because they don't really care about safety anymore. They're just throwing all caution to the wind. They don't care about any long-term effects anymore. So this is why they don't care about this anymore. But this was an issue before because, you know, we had real sort of caution and oversight prior to this, or some semblance of it.
Hospital with COVID who need all of that plasma to survive. Brianna Whitney explains.
Vitalant Blood Bank says right now,
this woman here,
every
she looks exactly like a woman, or actually, let's say, an acquaintance that I used to have back in St. Louis. Damn near just like her. They might be related for all I know, but her last name was not that, so. But it could just be related.
4 patients hospitalized with COVID-19 requires a convalescent plasma transfusion. But in order to keep that...
And the woman was actually born on the same day as me. So that was always interesting. We could always relate on that. The same day and year. It's not like just the same birthday. We were born the same fucking day.
Donations have to keep up. And with the vaccine here now, they need more donations than ever as the number of eligible donors goes down.
I am just feeling absolutely grateful and thankful to be alive.
Just weeks ago, Arizona State Representative Lorenzo Sierra was on a ventilator with a 13 to 33% chance to live from COVID-19. But the game changer, convalescent plasma, once he started getting that, he made a 180.
They have said that my recovery has been something that they have not seen. So I have to imagine that the convalescent plasma I took did have some part in my recovery.
But now the worry is if donations can keep up with demand for those who need it, like Sierra did.
This is all happening. It's
It's changing every single day.
Once people are vaccinated, they cannot donate plasma. Vitalant Blood Bank says the reason why is because the vaccine causes spike antibodies, and for convalescent plasma, they need nucleocapsid antibodies. Vitalant.
See, the vaccinated don't have the nucleocapsids, basically. That's what this is. It's supporting my point. So that's why I had to show it.
It says they're working with the FDA to get permission for those who had COVID before and have donated plasma before to continue doing so after they get the vaccine.
We're hoping that permission will come through in the next few weeks.
But as we know from the other clip, the shots wipe out the nucleocapsids, so it reduces them. So this is the issue here.
You know, cut to a couple
She looks
of months.
so much like her, man. She was also we're both born on Christmas. Did I say that? Yeah, I said that already. We worked at an Italian restaurant together. That's how we met, because she's also Italian. She lived in the neighborhood where that Italian restaurant was.
Representative Sierra says he plans to help as many COVID patients as possible while he can.
Hopefully I can give plasma at least a couple of times before I get my vaccination.
If you had COVID 28 days ago or more, you're eligible and encouraged to donate your plasma.
I wonder what she probably don't even live in St. Louis anymore. But if I go back, I'd probably try to pay a visit if she's still there. Anyway. Where is it? There's something else I wanted to look at. Let's just go through my tweet notifications. Why not? Why the fuck not? I'm here already. Or somebody else said something. What did you want? Or they liked the reply. I thought they were gonna. I want somebody to dare fucking question me on what I just posted there at the other thing I was just looking at. If they question me on that, I got all fucking receipts, man. Yep. Though it's derived from OTO type elite. Oh yeah, this is me responding to this shit. Yeah, left-wing conspiracy analysis. Western government agencies have a well-documented track record for doing nefarious things to protect Western capital and the dominance of the Western Empire. Right-wing conspiracy analysis. Look, Rihanna did Illuminati hands. Oh, this isn't just a right-wing concept. She don't know black people very well. Not a lot of black people are technically white-wing. We notice shit like this. Because it's so estranged to our culture, basically. But so a lot of us and a lot of people who make it up there to the entertainment, they call that shit out and tell a lot of the people back in our communities about it. So we focus on it hard whenever we notice somebody doing that shit. But I wouldn't say that I necessarily know if she's doing that here, because I watch this clip and I point that out in my reply. Yep. Wait, let me click this. This is my reply to her. Well, many celebrities are part of the operation you pointed out. Yeah. Celebrities are not removed from this thing she's pointing out up here at the top. They're part of it. Servants to Western capital, empire interests in propaganda, especially since Mockingbird, Operation Mockingbird and Project Mockingbird, which are like CIA, FBI operations to basically control celebrities and news anchors, basically control your media, really, just infiltrate your media and make them say what they want you to say, what your rulers want you to say, or just censor people, rat people out, stuff like that. Gestures are a signal to that allegiance, like certain sort of fraternity gestures, Illuminati gestures, some might refer to it. I refer to it as I don't use Illuminati because that's just been sullied now, just even saying that anymore. You're treated as some crazy conspiracy theorist whenever you say Illuminati. I use elite fraternities because it's a bit more accurate. And there's more than just one sort of a quote-unquote Illuminati group you can point to. But they're all kind of affiliated. Just like the OTO, what I usually like to say because it's more obscure. People don't really use that sort of title when addressing these people, but that's what it's really related to. The Order Tempor Orientis, which is Aleister Crowley type of cult, that's pretty big in the entertainment scene, but also politicians are involved in that sort of fraternity elite sort of. It's just an offshoot of some Mason shit, basically. But it's an actual thing. It's not like I made it up. These people profess allegiance to it. It's some goofball shit to me. I'm not a religious person either. So like, people are always like, whenever anyone points this shit out, people will always accuse the people who point this out of being like some Bible thumper, so overly religious Christian white winger or something. But I'm neither. I'm no longer religious anymore. I grew up in the church, but I don't believe any of that shit anymore. I'm not religious. I don't like to believe anything that some other dude made up. So I don't really profess that shit anymore. Much less this cult shit. I just notice it though, because they're clearly doing some ritual sort of acknowledgement toward this stuff. So, I mean, what am I going to do? Ignore it? Yeah, gestures are a signal to that allegiance toward an elite Western colonial fraternity. That's how I, refer to it, because it's true. Though I have not watched the clip. See, I pointed it out. I didn't watch this. I can't say if this is for sure her doing an Illuminati thing. I don't know. Let's see what it is. At the time, yeah, I did watch this. Now that I think about it, at the time, I did not watch this, so I didn't judge yet. But I did respond to somebody who pointed out the Rockefeller sign, and I know what that looked like. So, yeah, that's the Rockefeller sign. But where's my other response? Yeah, I'm responding to this person. It's the Rock Nation concert. This has been the hand sign for Rockefeller Records for at least 2 decades. Yeah. I acknowledge that. And I say, yep. Though it's derived from OTO type elite fraternities who adhere to Gnostic and Kabbalist symbolism rituals, which is true. That's where a lot of these guys are coming from. Freemason stuff is basically adapted from Gnostic beliefs and Kabbalah references. Whether they personally believe in it or not. Yeah, I can't really judge if these people legitimately believe in this shit. Like these elite people, these celebrities and politicians. But they certainly adhere to it. It's a call sign toward allegiance toward elite players. Yeah, the elite basically are all involved in this and run this. A naming tribute to Rockefeller is already bad on its face, though. Yeah, because Rockefeller is the whole dynasty is scumfuck. They're evil as fuck. Eugenicists, basically. They've kind of ruined a lot of the things they've touched, a lot of the industry. I think I would say they ruined a lot of what we now acknowledge as our health system. They're responsible for why it's shit. Why our medicine is shit, why we have bullshit pandemics. They're a big part of that. And they also just did a bunch of evil shit in general, economic terrorism, basically. Just corrupt to the bone. Anyway, yeah, they're evil capitalists. Like no actual person who professes to be a socialist or a communist should be simping for Rockefeller. I just gotta say. And she's like, she pegs herself a leftist. There's nothing leftist about Rockefeller. I would never call Rockefeller a leftist. It's like calling Bill Gates leftist, which is people will do, which is stupid to me. That motherfucker ain't no leftist. Yeah, eugenicists don't get to qualify as leftists. Wealthy billionaires who want to tell brown countries what to do don't get to qualify as a leftist in my book. Sorry. Okay, let's get out of here. I don't know if I'll even keep this up. I'm just randomly going through shit.
Security and cooperation in Europe.
Oh, is this motherfucker? He actually. Oh. Now I know why I was thinking of this. I saw this and I was like, you know what? That reminds me of a tweet I saw. But I guess he's going to show it here.
That's the U.S.
The title of this is U.S. official loves Ukraine. Oh, so he's going to show it. I didn't know they did a story about this. Oh, my God. I saw this on Twitter already. Okay.
Helsinki.
He posted this on his Twitter timeline, this scumfuck.
Mission. And he's also a fellow at something called the National Endowment for Democracy.
The CIA cutout. This fake NGO. Well, it's a real NGO, but NGOs are terrible anyway, but it's like a front for like helping democracy. What it doesn't. It's just a CIA spook operation to foment destabilization in the countries it's interacting in, and foment civil wars against leaders they want a regime change.
Is basically a front to the CIA spreading U.S. regime change propaganda around the world.
Regime change. He says it, so he's right on the ball.
Yeah, front for the CIA spreading U.S. regime change propaganda around the world. And here he is now showing off his new insignia, his new merchandise. Check him out on Twitter. Hey, look what I got. And you see there's a little patch there with a face. And that's the face of a guy named Stefan Bandera, who is
I should have just stayed here. He just showed the tweet. This is what I was trying to show.
World War II era Nazi collaborator in Ukraine. And he's now a hero to many of the people that the U.S. is siding with in Ukraine in the Ukraine proxy war. The people in the Azov Battalion and other far-right groups follow that guy, Stefan Bandera. So here is this U.S. official, Paul Massaro, showing off what he got, which is a patch of Bandera. Now, after he got called out, he deleted the tweet, so the tweet's no longer there.
I saw that in real time, dude. I responded to him before he deleted it. Oh, man. Maybe that's why I couldn't find it. He deleted the tweet. But I saw that shit, man. And then somebody tried to say it was a Photoshop. Somebody tried to frame him. No, you can't use that when he apologized for doing it. And he said, oh, my Polish friend told me. So I decided to remove the photo. They told me it was wrong. And the guy was a Nazi. This was his excuse. Oh, I just didn't know. And my Polish friend that I pulled out of my ass told me, no, he got blowback from the people calling him out on that, on his little feed. So he that's why he removed it, not his Polish friend. He's full of shit.
But he's still defending it. So he was challenged by Ian Miles Chong for showing off.
Fuck Ian Miles Chong. Well, he's gotten better over the years. He's kind of redeemed himself a little bit, but I don't really like him. He used to be much worse, though, I'll say. I've known this guy since back during 2014. He was doing some fucky shit.
A Nazi collaborator and glorifying him. And so Paul Massaro says symbols that are important to Ukrainians in their struggle to defend the free world.
Ian Michael Chong used to be like a right-winger and a self-hating Asian. He hated, he worshipped white people. He said they call me banana, yellow on the inside. No, yellow on the outside, white on the inside. He apparently used to be called this by his fellow Asians he grew up with. Because he apparently wanted to be white, I guess, when he was younger. But he seems to have changed his outlook over the years, which is healthy. It's much healthier, yeah. You certainly don't want to hate yourself either. That's really good. That's better for you, not to hate yourself. Just because, being Asian is not lesser than being white or any other race.
Consider for a moment that you may not have the full context. So people who criticize him for celebrating a Nazi are missing the full context. Here's Glenn Greenwald. How can anyone see what's going on here and think it's okay? There's an entire well-financed cottage industry that calls every non-Democrat a Nazi and Hitler. And then they see an explicit celebration of Nazism and Nazi collaborators by Ukraine fanatics and think it's inspiring. Here is Hassan Mafi. The U.S. regularly votes against condemning the glorification of Nazism at the UN. That's true. There are these votes every year against the glorification of Nazism.
Hassan Mafi, I like. He's cool.
I mean, it's pretty much only the U.S. and Ukraine who vote against those resolutions. He goes on, now we have openly Nazi U.S. officials. Who could have seen this coming? Here's another tweet from Paul Massaro celebrating
he's got the wolf hooks.
Another piece of merch he got. This is the insignia of the Azov Battalion, which is a neo-Nazi paramilitary organization. And he's saying, thank you, heroes, and congratulations on achieving the status of brigade.
They're trying to say the Azov is only like a small, insignificant sort of establishment or feature of the military. Well, why the fuck are you? Why is it so like prominent in display if it's so insignificant? It seems to be the opposite. Like, I can't find anyone that's not like brandishing this fucking wolf hooks and wolf angels and a fucking Totenkopf fucking insignia or a Stepan Bandera somewhere. Or what the fuck's going on? It never fails. Like, whenever they're featuring any of these motherfuckers that are talking about Ukraine, they're always showing this shit. It's just a oopsie all the time. I get. Are they that real? Are they such a small sort of feature of the military in Ukraine, or are they just more prominent than you're willing to admit what's going on? Motherfucker, this is a U.S. official. He's brandishing a goddamn wolf's angel in this photo here. What the fuck is that? This says Azov. This is how it's written in Ukrainian, okay? Or should I say acrylic Russian type? I mean, this is how they write their letters.
Because yes,
Cyrillic.
The Azov Battalion recently got named its own separate brigade inside the Ukrainian armed forces. So I wrote, yes, congrats to the Ukrainian Nazis on achieving the status of separate assault brigade, and congrats to Paul Massaro on achieving some Nazi merch in the mail. So let me bring in Lev Golinkin. Talk to us about your response to this U.S. official celebrating Bandera, and tell us about who Bandera was.
Yeah, a couple of things. First, the one thing I don't agree with is the U.S. resolution on Nazism in the UN, because it muddles free speech with the resolution. So that's just, we can shut that aside. I mean, but we routinely condemn Nazism, and we routinely say that everyone from Marjorie Taylor Greene to Tucker Carlson to everybody else is basically the second coming of Hitler. At the same time, here we have an employee of the U.S. government who is
I would say Stepan Bandera I mean, hate Tucker Carlson or Marjorie Taylor Greene all you want. I would say that Stepan Bandera is certainly more egregious than them, for sure. I mean, I don't know what genocides Tucker and Marjorie Taylor Greene have committed. Maybe they've done it and we don't know about it, but they need to let us know so we can get on board with condemning them more than Stepan Bandera for some reason. I don't get it. I don't even like those motherfuckers, but still, it doesn't make sense to get outraged over them, but not a literal Nazi. Stepan Bandera is a fucking Nazi. He committed genocide, worked with the Nazis.
Glorifying himself with, first of all, Azov. Just take that symbol that he has there is a wolf's angle symbol, a wolf's hook, which is one of the most famous, one of the most widely used neo-Nazi symbols in the world. Okay, and it was also used by Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
The Anti-Defamation League lists it among their hate sign. Okay, so this is a guy. I mean, he might as well have a swastika up there. This is what he has. He has a common.
We've seen those too, and they just try to downplay whenever the swastika's even been shown when they're interacting with somebody from Ukraine or something. They still downplay it. Hey, Jon Stewart gave a motherfucker a fucking medal at Disney World who was a Nazi. He had to cover his Nazi tattoo. He had a swastika tattoo. When he was accepting his award, he had a bandage over it. But yeah, you've seen this guy without the bandage. You know what the fuck's under that bandage. We've seen it.
Okay. So that's number one. As far as Bandera, Bandera was more than just a Nazi collaborator. His organization slaughtered tens of thousands of Jews and 700 to 100,000 Poles. Okay, he was an unrepentant fascist, an anti-Semite, and his men welcomed the Nazi invasion of Ukraine. They participated in it. They served as guards for to keep Jews imprisoned in ghettos. They executed Jews by taking them out in the middle of the forest and shooting them, or shooting them in their cities. This is when people say collaborator, sometimes they think it's like, well, maybe he was Hitler's secretary. He wasn't. This is somebody. The Organization of the United Nations of Ukrainian Nationalists.
Yeah, these motherfuckers would be worshiping a secretary. Get the fuck out of here. No, they worship him because who's involved in these purges. These Nazis worship him because he's involved in these goddamn purges of these undesirables and lesser Untermensch.
Without groups like them, the Holocaust couldn't have happened. Okay, so these are people who have the blood of tens of thousands of Jews, around 70,000 to 100,000 Poles in their hands. Okay, and again, it's also important. They didn't just kill Jews; they killed Poles in the most sickening ways possible. I mean, in ways that Hannibal Lecter would consider excessive. Okay, and I'm not. I mean, they would string up infants like garlands, or using barbed wire. I mean, these people were psychopaths, and to see this being celebrated, and here's this American man, okay? Here's this American man who is saying that this is a symbol that's important to Ukrainians, when the overwhelming majority of Ukrainians fought against Hitler. Mm-hmm. And to the overwhelming majority of Ukrainians, they were the ones who were fighting against these forces. So here is...
It's kind of the same as in Poland. There's a lot of people in Poland who got harmed by Nazis and tried to fight back, but today you see like Nazis are grown in Poland. The Nazi reverence has grown in Poland. It's really fucked up.
This man, this U.S. government employee, this American, who's speaking for Ukraine, when in reality, it would be like saying, all of America loves Robert E. Lee. You know how Americans love Robert E. Lee?
No.
Okay?
That fucking shit. That southern-ass racist motherfucker. Well, I would say all of them racist. I don't evangelize the forefathers at all. Even the ones from in the north, I would say, they were still pretty fucking racist, to be honest. But Robert E. Lee is fuck that guy. He's a fucking Klansman.
So this is an employee of the U.S. government, and this is what we're not even just talking like just anti-Semitic Holocaust distortion garbage. What we're talking about is just the arrogance of speaking for millions of people. Okay, just because his particular take on it is that Ukrainians love this man. Okay, I think it's despicable. I think this is basically like he might as well have a photograph of Eichmann. He might as well have a photograph of Himmler. Okay, he might as well be walking around with a swastika. Okay, and this is in the same environment in which we're saying that, comparing COVID measures to the Holocaust is horrific, and this is disgusting. Well, if that's horrific and disgusting, what do you consider this? If that is dangerous, what do you consider this? Okay, you can talk about the Azov symbols that Azov uses have shown up all over because other neo-Nazis use it, including neo-Nazis in America.
Yeah.
So this is, the Charlottesville March, for example, had a black sun. Which is one of the symbols that Azov also uses on its insignia.
Yeah,
so again, this is a
Nazi symbol. I haven't pointed that out for a long time.
Might as well be cheering for the Charlottesville neo-Nazis. Again, this is he's using the same insignia as these people are doing, and he's proudly doing it, and he's doubling down on it. it's as well as defending a Holocaust perpetrator. It just blows my mind how dangerous and how despicable this is.
Well, let's look at how he's not alone, because the establishment media also plays a role in basically whitewashing Bandera or minimizing his crimes and making it seem as if it's sort of up for dispute as to whether or not he's a Nazi collaborating war criminal who massacred Jews in Poland. So here are some examples. This is a headline from the Associated Press from 2022. Ukraine nationalists march to honor wartime partisan leader. And this is how the Associated Press describes it. They say Bandera was the leader of a Ukrainian nationalist movement in the 1930s and 1940s, which included a rebel army that fought alongside the Nazis. Bandera's supporters claim they sided with the Nazis against the Soviet army in the belief that Adolf Hitler would grant independence to Ukraine. Jewish groups associate Bandera's followers with the massacre of Jews. So it's not a matter of the fact that Bandera and his followers massacred Jews. It's that Jewish groups associate Bandera and his followers with the massacre of Jews.
Feelings. Yeah, exactly. This is a disgusting article of saying it. They associate Bandera. Okay, Bandera's followers.
We're going to say he didn't do it. Just the Jewish people are just making that claim. We can't. It sounds like an anti-Semitic sort of response, I would say. You could call it that, but they're blaming the Jews for this. All right.
Massacre Jews, okay? That is a historical fact.
But he didn't even just massacre Jews. He massacred Poles, massacred Roma, massacred Russians, and other undesirables.
Holocaust. Casting doubt on that, it has a name. It's called Holocaust distortion or Holocaust revisionism. When you say this might not have happened, or these people consider it, but look at these other angle. Okay, in plain terms, it's both siding the Holocaust.
Yeah.
Okay, and the only reason why the AP and others are able to get away with this is because people don't know who Bandera is. Because really, all you have to do is substitute.
They don't teach about him here, but they certainly teach about him in Ukraine. They love him over there. They have a holiday dedicated to him now. Ever since the right wing has taken over Ukraine, the right wing Nazis have basically controlled Ukraine. No matter what the election results in the little Congress they have, it doesn't matter how many seats they don't have. They still tell them what to do and what laws to put forth. Oh shit.
Osama bin Laden for Bandera. Let's see how that reads. Osama bin Laden was a leader of an Islamic movement that included a rebel army that did bad things. His supporters claimed that he did great things because he fought for freedom and independence.
Well, the U.S. said that. They were saying that about Osama bin Laden back before 9/11, when he was fighting supposed communists. The U.S. was backing him then. They even featured the Mujahideen in Rambo. They were the heroes in that. But, when they want to use you as a patsy, then you're no longer a hero to them.
Americans who have people killed in 9/11 associate Osama bin Laden and his followers with a terrorist attack.
No, they're dead. They don't associate with them. They're dead. But I guess you say people alive right now will do that because that's the official story. I would say the U.S. did that, and they liked Osama when he was doing what they wanted him to do. Wait 1 second. I'll be back. I gotta go get something. You know what? I'm going to play something while I'm gone. This will take like 5 minutes, but I'm going to play something right quick while I'm gone. Maybe some mood music. Oh yeah, watch Vegeta get his ass. Yeah, watch him get his shit pushed in on this. This is funny.
Are you absolutely sure you...
Yes, I am entirely sure. I'm going to obliterate you and the rest of this planet myself with my own two...
Kyle Cat!
Okay, not bad. I told you, Kakarot, there's no way you can measure up to an elite like me. You're fighting a losing battle here. You may as well just surrender this pathetic planet now and...
Kaioken times 3!
Times what? This proves nothing. This is the end, Kakarot! You don't stand a chance! I put all my power into this attack! Now perish with the rest of your pathetic world!
Kaioken!
No!
Times!
No, no, no! No, 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 no! Son of a bitch! This can't be happening! I'm the prince! I'm supposed to be the best by default! Prepare to die, Kakarot!
Solar flare!
My eyes! Oh god, it's like walking in on Frieza in the shower! Wait a minute, Frieza's always naked. Now time to crush you like an alien!
What?
Exactly! Now die! Again with the fucking eye!
Ha!
You're finished! All of your planet's greatest fighters, all of them worthless in the presence of a Saiyan elite! None of you can stop me! None of you! Ready! God damn it! He's back to normal! Go on! We can do this! We can beat him! We have a chance! There's nothing left now! Your last hope and you missed! You're all defeated and there isn't a damn thing you can... What smells like deer? I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, damn it, the kid! That's right! Oh, wait. I'll just become the mighty Ozaruid. Wait. I don't have my tail! This fat bastard cut it off! No, stop it! Stop it, damn you! Why? Why won't you people just die?
I know you're angry right now, but you have to focus your anger. Remember Icarus? He did it.
Bullshit! Fine! I'll do it myself then! I did it! I'm the best around! No one's ever going to keep me down! Crushed and broken beneath an unconscious naked child. Yep, I think I'm done here. All right, I'm just gonna get in my ship. I'm gonna fly back to Frieza Station. And I'm gonna sleep this off like a bad hangover.
I've been hiding another side of myself.
Where in the closet?
Now prepare yourself for the beast within. I should warn you, though, This form is entirely different from me in every way. I'm a rape, you bitch!
To be perfectly honest, you're not that different. You're just a lot less subtle about it. Oh my god! Point! Sword! Apples!
Huh. Hey, Little Green, do you believe in karma?
What is that?
Well, you see, karma is where if you do something good, something good happens to you. And if you do something bad, something bad happens to you.
So, if I am good enough, then I can have my family back.
Are you still on about that?
No!
And that's the end of that.
Why did I explode? Finally! I've gathered all 7 Dragon Balls!
State your wish.
Dragon, grant me immortality!
Your wish is granted.
Yes, I've done it! I'm finally the strongest in all the universe! I'm unstoppable.
Oh, how cute. He's having a little dream.
Hein.
Now let's get you back to Lord Frieza. I need to probe you for information.
My power is maximum. Raccoon Elbow!
Oh, and Raccoon follows up with a vicious Raccoon Elbow.
It looks like Raccoon is just too fast for Vegeta.
And we're back with the fight.
Here's what you missed.
Boy, did we time that commercial right or what?
Oh, sneak attack from Vegeta!
But it looks like it didn't do jack.
Wait, he's setting up the
Royal Driver!
Hey, Gohan, look! He picked Vegeta like
a vegetable, yes.
So anyway, Vegeta, what happened to you? Did you get beat up by this guy?
No.
You fell down some stairs.
I fell down some stairs.
No, you didn't. You...
Shut up before I throw you down a flight.
All done. And judging by the expression on your face, so are you.
What? How?
Let's be practical and put a number to that feeling, shall we? Last time I clocked this form, it was at 1 million.
You're lying!
Am I really?
Not impressed! I can do that too! Yeah, how's that feel, Frieza? Now, if you can, why don't you pick your sorry ass up and take on a real
Huh. That happened.
I don't believe it. We may actually win.
Yeah, that's just, great. If you'll excuse me, though, I've, gotta... Bye.
Oh, for the love of... I'm out.
Huh?
Would you hold on for a moment, please? I'll be right back.
All right, I just gotta find one of the Ginyu ships and get the hell out of here. I'll just go to Frieza Planet 419. No one ever goes to Frieza Planet 419. Not since its species miraculously repopulated.
So, Vegeta, where are you going?
Oh, you know, places.
Places, hmm? Like that mountain over there?
Actually, that looks more like a plateau.
Sorry about that. Where were we?
You green thing, heal me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you over the smell of my people's blood on your hands.
Oh, no. Do not be that guy right now.
Oh, I'm going to be that guy right now.
I am literally going to die.
Well, how about this? I'll heal you on one condition.
And that is?
Say my name.
Oh.
You don't even know my name.
Oh, I do. It's, Little Green.
No, it's Dende. Say Dende.
Dende.
Now say, please heal me, Dende.
Please heal me, Dende.
Well, since you asked so nicely...
Come back, Magic Man.
Let me tell you, Vegeta, I don't deal in legends. I deal in facts. And here's a fact. By the end of this, you are going to be crying like a little bitch. So, are we done playing children's games, Vegeta? Or do I have to tickle you? Eh? Eh? Gucci-goo? Gucci-goo?
I'm gonna blow you up! We'll see how you stand up to everything I've got! Take my Super Saiyan!
Oh, and I should probably send the Ginyu's family something. Perhaps some wine, a gift basket. Or maybe gift baskets with wine.
What? What was that? Oh, God.
See? It's like I told you, Vegeta. Like a bitch.
Shut up!
Oh, my God, you actually are crying.
I'm not crying! Not!
Honestly, now I just feel bad. Usually I just blow up whatever's in my way, but with you, I've gotten kind of attached. It's sort of like putting down old Space Yella.
How is that a thing?
It's sad, really. But before we part ways, Vegeta, let me tell you a tale. The end.
Oh boy.
See that, Vegeta? Now for my next trick, I'm going to make an
Vegeta
asshole.
sucks ass, man. I don't know why anyone liked this dude. He could never be my favorite character. Like, it's the one thing if you lose all the damn time like he does, but he's arrogant about it. It's like, at least, I liked Krillin because, he'd lose a lot, but he gets some nice little showings and he was humble. So, I could rock with Krillin. But this motherfucker, no. He deserves the beating. He deserves it.
Oh, disappear. Hey, Vegeta.
What?
Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself.
You're the one hitting me!
Au contraire, Vegeta. You brought this upon yourself.
Dumbass.
Should we help him?
Oh, go ahead. Pool's open. Water's fine. No? Just going to stand there like a bunch of pissants? Thought so.
Yes,
now,
sir.
where were we? Oh, right. I believe it
was... Can't do nothing for you, Bran. Can't do nothing for you, Vegeta. That's that old Public Enemy #1 song. That's his theme number. That's his theme song. That's Vegeta's theme song. I can't do nothing
Kitty
for
punch.
you.
Kitty punch, kitty punch, kitty punch, and pause. Kitty punch. It seems our game is over, Vegeta. Now that we're done here, it's time to send you crying home.
I always thought that was armor, but I guess it's like cloth. That little. I guess it is armor, but they call it armor. But it doesn't. It looks like it's. I mean, the way he's pulling it here, it looks like cloth. That was like some ceramic plastic type thing, or even metal. Well, not ceramic plastic. I mean, what do you call it? That's not even a thing. Ceramic plastic. Like some plasticky type of thing with like ceramic inside of it is what I meant. Like real body armor.
Home to Mummy.
My mother's dead.
I know.
He has risen above and become a legend. A legend that you fear.
Something made of vinyl or styrene. Something.
He has become a Super Saiyan!
Vegeta!
No, seriously, you have no idea how old that got.
Why didn't you block that one?
I'm gonna get off of this in a minute. I just want to see this one part. It was kind of funny.
You had it.
Not this one. No! This one's kind of sad.
No idea how old that got.
Why didn't you block that one?
I thought you had it.
No!
It's funny.
Yeah, why didn't he block that one? He did. He blocked the other death moves.
How he's still talking. I could have sworn I hit a lung. Oh, there it is.
You deserve a proper burial.
Oh, yes, a proper burial. An unmarked grave on an empty planet in the middle of nowhere space. Honestly, I'd say it's too good for him.
Frieza's actually right. He's right about that. Okay, we're done. Yeah, he doesn't deserve a proper burial. He's a piece of shit. He didn't redeem himself until much later, I'd say. Where was I? Oh, our friend Sam Hyde. I have been watching some Sam Hyde rabbit hole shit because it's kind of funny. I don't know. Sam Hyde stuff's kind of a guilty pleasure, you know. He's a controversial figure. I'll say that much. But some shit's funny. The antics surrounding him are funny. Like, oh, somebody responded to me. What did you say? She is. Oh, somebody just liked what I said. The same for Dominus Rock. So Rock, yeah, that's the claim that's made, but that's not really what it is. Mm-hmm. If you want to believe that, it's not even Rock. It's not even their exclusive fucking symbol. It's used by politicians. They do the same thing. But whatever. If you want to believe that, I'll just say if you want to believe that. I'm not even going to elaborate. If you want to believe that. Mm-hmm. Representative Diamond. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway. I went to a shop that buys and sells old coins, jewelry, and rare liquors. One moment. There's something I'm going to do. If anything, it's a Mason symbol. It's supposed to represent an A. But you could also say it represents the pyramids. Well, some people would just say pyramid bullshit and with the Eye of Horus in it. But, you know, it's a sort of symbol that the Masons used, which they could have also adapted from that. But, I'm going to click something right quick. I'll be back. You know, I'll just keep playing that. And then, because I'm still doing something off screen.
I will kill as many people as I have to, as long as you are one of them.
Be honest. Is this just a short guy thing?
You talk a lot of shit for a washing machine. And no, I'm not just saying that because you're an android. I'm saying it because you're a woman. You know what? Just for that, I'm not gonna take it easy on you anymore!
Father, are you in there?
Did anyone get the number of that bitch?
18.
Thank you.
You okay in there, Vegeta?
Eat a dick.
Okay, he's fine.
Well, that was only a taste of my power. Now experience my Super Saiyan!
How quickly bravado goes out the window when you're flat on your ass. That's pretty sad.
Sad for you! Why do I yell things?
Hey, so who's got 2 broken arms and is a total bitch?
You stupid bitch. You only broke one of my arms.
This guy.
Huh, that's cool. He can turn off the blonde.
Yeah, and unlike you, he doesn't need a bottle.
You're just mad because I wore it better.
That is it! I am stopping this now!
Oh, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Thwarting my plans?
Sorting your plans?
Are you?
You know what? Yes!
All right, perfect cell.
Love the ring to that.
I'm going to enjoy wearing down the knuckles on these gloves.
Okay, I know that wasn't supposed to sound sexual, but...
Now, if you don't mind, it's time to turn your little coming out party into a funeral.
And time's up. Prince, while there's absolutely nothing I'd rather do than stand here and listen to you bluster at me till the death of the universe, I literally have a million better things to do. So here's the deal. I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
Oh, is that right?
Now hold on. You might have misheard me. Not half as hard, not some arbitrary percentage. I want you to hit me as hard as you can.
And if I don't play along?
Well, then I guess your father was right about you. Ooh. Consider that nerve touched.
How?
Because, Prince, like a soon-to-be broken man once said, you're either perfect or you're not me.
I'm okay.
See, Prince, that's what you get for not listening. But since I know you have trouble following directions, I'm gonna give you one last chance. You, me, hard as you can. Are we clear?
Crystal.
Maybe you should tell him before he does something completely reckless.
There is literally nothing left that he could do to make this situation worse. Save blowing up the planet. He is going to blow up the planet.
But I live here!
Oh, that's much better. I could actually feel that.
In their moments, all you'll be feeling is oblivion!
That or disappointment. Go ahead. Flip that coin.
Father! Your pride isn't worth destroying the planet! Come on!
Way past the bargaining stage here.
Final Flash!
Oh, how cute. He named the ocean!
Oh, cool. He missed the planet.
Thank God he's not completely insane. Completely being the operative word.
Hard enough for you.
Bonus! It actually did something.
See? Everything worked out. I mean, he's not dead, but it's a start.
You think this is funny?
You think this is funny?
It's gonna get funny.
It's funny.
As your face.
Dang. Troll dude.
Holy
shit! You know, it might sound weird, but I kind of liked the old
Huh. For some reason, the guy who... Wait a minute. Let me show this right quick. Oh my God. What the fuck happened? What the fuck? Okay, I'm going to click. Maybe it's on this. I'm going to make sure this tweet is still here. What the fuck? Okay. For some reason, this guy responded to me. But now, did he delete it? It's been deleted. So I guess he didn't agree with what he was saying. He said this shit. I'm going to have to make sure to screen cap this. Yeah, I'll screen cap it. Yeah. Let me push it. I guess he didn't believe in this. Okay. Sheep aren't sheep. He's got a funny name. Sheep aren't sheep. It's a peculiar name. Why did you delete it? Why did you delete this? You didn't believe it? You didn't believe what he was saying, I guess? I don't know. That's very telling. He just wanted to cope. All right. Well, let's get back to this. I'm also going to... Actually, no. Let's watch more of this because I got to make a drink.
Better. Oh, well. I'll just... You think this is funny? You think this is funny? It's not as funny as your face.
Holy shit!
You know, it might sound weird, but I kind of liked the old on better. Oh well, I'll just have to break it in. Why won't you die? Prince, has this ever worked? Don't need to answer that. Some advice, Prince, for the future. Next time, why don't you remember your place like the rest of them? And wait for Goku.
He's a support character. That's basically what he's telling you. You are not the main character. Get the fuck out of here.
I win. Perfect.
Then what the hell am I supposed to do for 24 hours? Hang out with you two idiots?
Fine. Your literal humanity disgusts me anyway.
Guess it's just you and me now, black man.
Oh, really? Oh, really now?
See? I told you it would happen.
'Twas never a matter of if, only when.
Do you plan to take me on? Because I'm ready to throw down when you are, buddy. Come on, let's toss you through a mountain of fire for old time's sake. The old silent treatment, is it? Don't tell me you came all the way out here just to stand around and look mean. Oh, I see you took my advice. You're waiting for... My dear Android 16. And Yamcha, what a surprise. How's it going, man?
Oh, good. I brought towels and water bottles.
And like that, you've already contributed more than Vegeta.
Is it any easier the second time?
Believe it or not, it's worse.
My baby boy!
Vegeta, no!
Vegeta!
Vegeta, no! Goodbye, Vegeta. And when you get to hell, tell them to make some room. For Vegeta? Really?
Yeah, really?
Really?
Vegeta, you brain-dead idiot! Trunks could have been brought back, no problem. But no, you picked now to be a parent? Oh, well look at me. I know better. Could have just let you bite it! Now I'm monoplegic and Cell's gonna kill us all!
Sorry.
Oh wow, we are fucked.
You know, I like Gohan and all, but I have a problem with Gohan being as so powerful as he is. Yet the other half Saiyans aren't. Like, why isn't Trunks treated in the same manner as potential power, or even the little brother Goten? Like, they're half Saiyans too. That means they're supposed to have like a big power boost because they're half Saiyans mixed with the human blood, and that means they're supposed to be more powerful. I don't know. There's no consistency. Anyway, let's get out of here. I have a drink with me. I'm gonna finish this. Well, actually, it's a float. I'm eating a float, so I'm gonna finish this, and then I'm gonna start another stream.
But where you sit is where you stand, and all of that.
It'd be like, my great grandparents were murdered at Auschwitz. So it'd be like someone saying, some people associate the murder of Aaron's great.
Yeah, he's Jewish. And apparently his father was I think his father was alive at the time. I'm not sure. His father isn't that old though, so I don't think so. I don't know, but his grandparents were.
Great grandparents with the Nazis.
Jews are sensitive about the whole genocide thing,
Yeah.
And this is a routine thing. This is a routine thing that's been happening since about 2014. We've just been wiping the hell out of him.
Here's more, and this has to do with the Azov Battalion, which are followers of Bandera. So the New York Times used to describe the Azov Battalion as openly neo-Nazi. That was back in 2015. They could say that. Here's an example.
Yeah.
This is a New York Times article from 2015. The Azov Group, which is openly neo-Nazi. Okay, it's pretty simple. Fast forward to...
Yeah, this isn't Putin's paper. Unless someone wants to inform us that Putin is the editor at New York Times or something. This is back in 2015.
Today, now we're in a proxy war with Russia, and we're using the Azov Battalion on the front lines of that proxy war. Now the New York Times says it's the celebrated Azov Battalion. Mm-hmm. So they've gone from being openly neo-Nazi to celebrated
the U.S. loves
in a very short amount of time.
In a way that's rather accurate, because they are celebrated in Congress. They're celebrated.
It makes a lot of sense for all the evil shit we do around the globe. Yeah, it makes sense that the U.S. would love Nazis. It makes sense why they had slavery. It makes sense why they had Jim Crow. It makes sense why there's a big high incarceration of black people proportionate to the population. And it makes sense why they killed millions of people in the Middle East.
Welcome to Stanford.
Makes sense why they're bombing Africa. Makes sense why they destroyed Libya. Makes sense why they're in support of apartheid, both in South Africa and Israel. During the apartheid reign in South Africa, when that was going on, the U.S. was supporting the apartheid side. They were pro-apartheid. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that the U.S. loves Nazis, the actual people running the fucking place.
Welcome to universities. They've been welcomed on MSNBC. So in many ways, they very much are celebrated, including by this guy who put up a photo of himself with their sign.
Here's another example from the Financial Times where they point out that this was about a month into Russia's invasion that a nationalist regiment with neo-Nazi roots has been instrumental in the resistance to Russia's invasion. That's correct. Yes, that's the Azov Battalion. And they interviewed, for this article, Andrei Beletsky, a founding commander of the Azov forces, who insists most Azov fighters are patriotic, but many of them are patriotic, many of them are nationalists. But the majority of Ukrainians today are nationalists, Beletsky said, citing Stepan Bandera, a nationalist figure accused of collaborating with the Nazis against the Soviet.
Stepan Bandera. Okay, a Nazi. That's not really a good defense.
Citing Stepan Bandera, a nationalist figure accused of collaborating with the Nazis against the Soviets at the start of the Second World War, as among the heroes many of his fellow citizens were looking up to. So there it is, that passive voice again. Bandera is accused of...
I read this already. I read this a while ago.
Collaborating with the Nazis. It's no longer a historical fact. It's just that he was accused of collaborating with the Nazis.
This is one of the most. I use despicable a lot, but there's really no other way to. But this is a double down. So here they interview a neo-Nazi. Okay, even people who defend Azov will see that Beletsky is a. He is. If Beletsky is not a neo-Nazi, the term doesn't have any meaning. Okay, this is somebody who is a neo-Nazi who formed a battalion which convicted, which has a track record of war crimes across Eastern Ukraine. Okay, this is somebody who's he's notorious for being even the people who defend Azov admit it. And the Financial Times decides to platform this guy. And in platforming this guy, the Financial Times allows him to go into Holocaust distortion and say that a person who, Adolf Eichmann is accused of participating in the Holocaust. Yeah. People accuse people of all crazy things these days. I cannot imagine. I mean, if you look up Beletsky, I mean, these are reporters who did this. These are people who assuming, know how to read and have a computer. Okay, if you look him up, the minute you look him up, everybody is like, this guy is a neo-Nazi. Okay, so either they just didn't do the most basic research, or they said, you know what, he's a neo-Nazi, but he's our neo-Nazi, so that's okay. Because those are the only two options. Either they didn't know or they didn't care. But here they have Financial Times, a major outlet, platforming a neo-Nazi spouting Holocaust revisionism.
There's a regulatory capture of our news media. They say whatever their owners tell them to say. And their owners run the country, right? There's only like a handful of people who control most of the major media. We used to have much more networks and newspapers, but much of it's been consolidated into fewer hands. And then most of those fewer hands are basically in bed with the government, running the government, all right? And they say what the fucking military wants, what the State Department wants, what the CIA wants.
And Lev, you mentioned that this whitewashing of Bandera has been going on, especially since 2014 in the U.S. media. Here's a good example. This is from NPR from May 2014. It says, hero or villain? Historical Ukrainian figure symbolizes today's feud. And this is what NPR says. And it's by, it looks like a Jewish guy, Ari Shapiro. It sounds like a Jewish name to me. Having a debate over whether or not a Nazi is a Nazi. It's interesting. So he says, in Eastern Ukraine, Bandera has entirely different connotations. Pro-Russian separatists see him as an ally of Hitler, a fascist who is responsible for killing tens of...
That's what anyone with common sense sees him as. Just look what he did.
Thousands. In Western Ukraine, many see Bandera as a freedom fighter who battled domination by the Soviet Union and other European powers before and during World War II.
They were aligned with the Nazis. They were fighting people who were fighting the Nazis. If they were on the side of the Nazis, what do you want to say? Just say it, motherfucker. Just say they were fighting on the side of the Nazis. That's what the Soviet Union was fucking fighting at that time. That's what Europe was fighting at that time, or supposed to be.
They see themselves as the heirs to Bandera's struggle. So, it's subjective. Was he an ally of Hitler who was responsible for killing tens of thousands of people, or is he a freedom fighter who battled the domination of the Soviet Union?
The Nazis were freedom fighters, guys.
Yeah, and this is not to put too fine a point on it, but if Ari Shapiro was in Ukraine in 1941 or 1942, alongside you and me, Bandera's men would have had him in a ditch with a bullet in his head. Okay, so it's particularly just sickening. It's like the least somebody like that could do is have the decency to call a Nazi collaborator who killed so many Jews and Poles and also Ukrainians who were just opposed against him. The least he could do is maybe, I don't know, just not throw around doubt on historical facts. And this is NPR, which again spends the past 6 years screaming about how we're basically living in Nazi Germany and how every little thing is it's the Holocaust come again, and yet here it is engaging in just outright distortion of the Holocaust.
Not when we actually see Nazis though. Only when we're looking at truckers or some fucking MAGA idiots. Those are the real Nazis. Bullshit. Unarmed truckers or MAGA stands are not the ones we need to be worried about. Literal Nazis are the real ones we need to be worried about. Card-carrying Nazis, armed, we're arming them. That's the ones we need to be worried about.
Of a killer of Jews.
So here again is the U.S. official we're talking about, Paul Massaro, who's showing off his. So here again is the U.S. official we're talking about, Paul Massaro, who's showing off his Bandera patch.
That patch. There's this fucking Nazi hero on his fucking shoulder. And he removed his picture because he got called out.
On his arm. Hey, look what I've got. A Nazi on my arm.
I caught him.
And interesting.
It says my daddy's Bandera. It says my mom's Ukraine and my dad's Bandera.
That's what the pad said. Wow. My mom's Ukraine and my dad's Bandera. So he's the son of Bandera. Wow.
What a cuck.
So there he is. And here, though, what he says in a recent podcast appearance where he talks about how he thinks actually it's Russia that glorifies Nazism. Here he is.
Okay.
Nobody
the
has
ones who defeated the Nazis, lost the most to the Nazis, they revere the Nazis. Doesn't make sense to me. I mean, you literally had a Nazi on your shoulder. So what's the projection? Oh, this bitch is another one who said she wanted to genocide all Nazis. She said this on her Twitter feed. I caught her stupid take too. She wants to kill all Russians. Yeah, I said Russians. She said she wanted to genocide all Russians. She's okay with Nazis. She loves Nazis. That's why she's talking to him. Even Russians who have nothing to do with the war. I mean, I can understand if you're fooled into, hating Russia because of, or hating Putin anyway, because of what the West is saying about the war. But you want all Russians to die because of it? That doesn't make any sense. That's just Nazi talk at that point.
Looking into Russians' cult of death and cult of war for 30 years. All these parades with these children posing as these soldiers who died tragically and wearing these papier-mâché tanks to school, which is weird and it's sick. I wouldn't want my kid to take part in anything. Imagine a situation like that somewhere in Germany or in Europe or whatever, celebrating the death of millions of people. It's never again.
You like the Bandera Day? That's what they do. That's a literal Nazi day where they celebrate the killing of Poles and Jews and Roma and other undesirables and Russians.
In Europe, but it's "можем повторить." We can repeat it in Russian. It's their go-to sentence when they talk about World War II, and nobody paid attention.
She's mad about them killing Nazis in World War II. That's what she's mad about. She's mad about the OUN getting their ass pushed in, getting their ass stomped. That's what she's mad about. The fucking Nazis. She's mad about the AFU getting stomped.
I might actually posit no one in the West has understood this until right now, 2023.
Literally.
I don't even think we understood this in the Soviet days because we were too enamored with communist ideology and Kremlinology and we're up against global communism. And then prior to that, you had the monarchical czar culture. It felt like, so there was never a time when we really interrogated Russian identity. And the only reason we're actually doing it now, I mean, we wouldn't be doing it if Ukraine hadn't fought. We're doing it now because Ukraine has just risen on the world stage to an extent that it can no longer be ignored. And Ukrainians this is who they are.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Was that some video sped up or is that?
I think so. I don't think they talked that fast. Yeah, that was sped up.
Okay.
Obviously, no one talks like that.
It's what they're talking about is Russia celebrating the victory in World War II. That's what they're talking about. Okay.
Nazis.
Russia has a cult of World War II, but considering Russia lost exponentially, I mean millions more than every U.S. soldier combined, why do we celebrate the victory of World War II? Why do we have?
I said Russians lost the most in the war, so they're gonna kind of be opposed to Nazis. Yeah, that's a lingering effect.
Creepy World War II memorial in Washington. Why do we have creepy World War II veterans? Why do we have Tom Hanks doing all these movies and Spielberg and whatever? Why do we? I mean, it's Russia, for example. You want to have an equivalent? Russia is.
She said she also wanted to kill all Russians. So she's just a genocidal maniac.
Watching Stalin. See, that's very simple. You can say that. Russia is doing that, and that is horrible. And it's just as bad as Ukraine whitewashing Bandera. Doing that.
Okay, now this is the bad take he has because he believes all the Western lies about Stalin, which was actually from Nazis. Stalin, all the bad shit that's said about Stalin has never been proved. Most of it is just shit that came from Nazis and fucks like William Randolph Hearst and Robert Conquest, who are just a bunch of paid spooks, paid merchants to just lie about rivals of the U.S. Russia was becoming an economic rival to the U.S., so they wanted to really get rid of Russia. U.S. wanted to be the top hegemony. The Five Eyes in general, the English-speaking countries wanted to be the top hegemony. They didn't want any rival with the Slavs. 1 second. Anyway, yeah. So this guy, his take right here is bad. There's no whitewashing of Stalin. Stalin is already treated bad. He's treated bad even though it's wrong. It's wrong that Stalin is treated bad because most of it is made up shit. It's not shit that he actually did.
See, that's very simple. You can see.
There was no Holocaust that Stalin planned. There's no killing campaign he had. The closest thing they want to point to is Holodomor. Well, this isn't even something that was planned at all. Holodomor was not some planned genocide. It was a famine that was affecting multiple regions. It wasn't targeted. And the U.S. was even experiencing famines with the Dust Bowl. It was like a global issue post feudalist sort of practices. But the czars, like the Soviet Union, was just trying to reform things from how the czars set shit up, and it took a while to do that because there was legacy famines prior to the Soviet Union taking over. There was always famines. It was caused by the feudalists, the czars. China experiences too. But yeah, they're also communists, so they want to call that out as being caused by Mao as well. But that was going on before Mao. And then they fixed it. They never want to talk about how the Soviet Union and China fixed famines. There were no famines after the Holodomor. There was none in China really after the PRC was established. So they don't want to ever pay any sort of attention to that fact. Yeah, the communists solved the legacy famines. They never want to put that in. And some of the things they point to as Holodomor, just like pictures. It's not even from fucking Russia, not from Ukraine either. It's like from famines before even the Soviet Union was around, or some other region in Europe, or from the Dust Bowl itself. There's pictures of people posted from the Dust Bowl, and they say that's fucking Ukraine, and Stalin did that, and it's American shit. It's so stupid. People they don't check any of the sources they're looking at.
That's what they're talking about. Okay. Russia is a cult of World War II, but considering Russia lost exponentially, I mean, millions more than every U.S. soldier combined, why do we celebrate the victory of World War II? Why do we have a creepy World War II memorial in Washington? Why do we have creepy World War II veterans? Why do we have Tom Hanks doing all these movies and Spielberg
Saving Private Ryan
and whatever? Why do we? I mean, it's
fucks.
Yeah, Russia, for example. Here's you want to have an equivalent. Russia is whitewashing Stalin. See, they're
not whitewashing Stalin. They just know Stalin. That's their. They know more about Stalin than the U.S. does. We'll say that much. So yeah, they have reason to celebrate Stalin. They have more proof about Stalin than we do, because the stuff we say about Stalin is never proven. They don't. All the stuff is like the sources they use is from other shit. So when you notice that they're lying, there's no reason to even go along with their lie.
It's very simple. You can say that Russia is doing that, and that is horrible, and it's just as bad as Ukraine whitewashing Bandera.
It's not though. It's not though. Stalin did not have a campaign about genociding a group of people. This is just revisionism. That's a Nazi sort of thing that was made up. This is a Nazi story. Like all this awful shit they say about Stalin, it came from Nazis to whitewash their actual campaign to genocide people. Their actual white supremacist ideology. Stalin did not push some white supremacist ideology or some Russian supremacist ideology. He didn't do any of that. So there was no campaign to genocide a group of individuals.
Okay, but here are these people chittering away about how it's awful that you're celebrating the victory in World War II. I mean, that's exactly what we're doing in America.
Only America thinks that because America gets a bunch of made-up history about the Soviet Union because the U.S. is biased against communism. It hates communism. It'll lie about communism if it serves their control of information, control of minds, basically.
And Britain and then other places that won World War II. Like, how would you like them to? What would you like them to do otherwise?
And Lev, as we wrap, since we're talking about glorifying Nazis, you recently had this article in the New York Times called "Why Do Stanford, Harvard, and NASA Still Honor a Nazi Past?"
Because they're Nazis. This is why the U.S. talks shit about the Soviet Union and Stalin. Because Stalin defeated the Nazis. Russia defeated the Nazis. Soviet Union defeated the Nazis. The communists defeated the Nazis. And they love Nazis. This is one of the examples of that.
Talk to us about what you reported on here.
I was stunned to find out that both Stanford and Harvard have scholarships for
You were stunted? You were surprised? Because you're not really that informed. This guy isn't that informed, clearly, on his take about Stalin. Just like a lot of Americans aren't. So,
a Nazi war criminal. I mean, a man who was literally convicted of war crimes and crimes against humanity in Nuremberg. Okay, this is a man whose corporation had 100,000 slaves. Okay, including in Auschwitz. And
what's his name?
Alfred Krupp. Okay. He spent all of 6.5 years in prison until the United States released him. After prison, the United States pardoned him, gave him back all of his money, which he got off of war and genocide. And then shortly before he died, he put this money into a foundation, and the foundation bearing his name has since pumped out millions and millions into things, paying people like Harvard and Stanford to establish scholarships.
So I forgot to point on India's famine. I mean, yeah, that the British caused. The British caused wonton famine in India and Bengali. But they're not called out as the Nazis. They are for doing that. I would call them that. I would call them that to this day because they revere that sort of legacy. They revere the crown, the rulers of not saying everybody there, just the rulers do. The rulers, the politicians, most of them, they revere that shit. They revere the British colonialism.
Everything. And so Harvard currently has, you said you're the grandson of your grandparents were murdered in Auschwitz.
Great-grandparents, yeah.
Great-grandparents, I'm sorry. Harvard has, Harvard's president right now is the son of an Auschwitz survivor, okay? So the president of Harvard is the son of an Auschwitz survivor. His university advertises him as such. There were press releases about how this is monumental. Our new president is the son of a Holocaust survivor. And his university has a scholarship and a professorship honoring a man who was literally convicted in Nuremberg. And when I reached out with the New York Times, they didn't even have a comment on that. Okay, they couldn't even be bothered to have a comment. Okay, and this is the university which now recently tried to put out a report saying how sorry they are about slavery and the impact of slavery. They put out an entire report, and the president, Lawrence Bacow, spoke about it. Okay, and they have no problem taking money and whitewashing a Nazi slaver. And their website, at least as of like last month, didn't even mention the fact that he was a convicted war criminal. Okay, this is one of the leading universities in the world. Okay, just omitting that little fact about it.
Our elite rulers are Nazis. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't get how the system actually runs. It's sad. You'd think he'd be more informed, but he's not. This guy looks older than I am too, but he's still knows so little. He's only scratching the surface.
Nazis are apparently having a comeback. They're being armed by the U.S. They're
I
being
was warning about this 3 years ago, and nobody fucking listened.
celebrated by U.S. officials,
I
and
was
they're
warning
being
about this in
honored
2014. No one listened.
by some of our most famous academic institutions. It's surreal and horrifying to say
I
the
gotta wonder
least.
sometimes, do people here just actually love Nazis? Like some of the people I try to inform and warn about this shit, I guess I don't know. I gotta wonder sometimes, do they just actually like Nazis? Were they really on board with the shit that they wanted to do or something? Like, I gotta wonder.
Lev Golinkin, author and journalist. His book is called A Backpack, a Bear, and 8 Crates of Vodka. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Doing live stand-up comedy in Tempe, Palm Springs.
Shit. See, this is why you should not trust anything our country says about any other country or their past. They're literally revering Nazis and backing Nazis, funding Nazis. How are you going to listen to them about history with the Soviet Union and their leaders? They are compromised. They're just mad that they defeated the Nazis. That's all that is. They hate the Russians and the Soviet Union and Stalin because they defeated the Nazis. That's it. But they got to make them look bad, so they got to make up bullshit about them to justify hating on them in spite of them defeating the Nazis. It's gross. More of this, please. What is this, please? Oh, the Nord Stream? Yeah, they lied about that. You know what? What is this? Oh, I watched this already. You know what? I'm going to stop this stream. That was enough. This will be good background. I'm going to start another stream. I'll be back.